NaruTalk, the Naruto ShipPodcast, is made possible through contributions from listeners like you. To help support the podcast and to earn exclusive rewards, head to www.patreon.com/NaruTalkPod. That's www.patreon.com/NaruTalkPod. Believe it!
Hey everyone, this is Naruto Uzumaki, and you're listening to NaruTalk. Believe it!
Hello everybody, welcome back to NaruTalk, the greatest podcast ever to be all about Naruto. I'm your host, Liam English, and with me as always this week, I'm joined by Morgan Williamson.
Hello, I was drinking my nice
You sound
beverage.
like a Zexies right there. Is that what they're called?
Sexies.
Sexies?
I sound sexy. Thanks, Raj.
Problem.
Quick pivot. You sounded like a sexy. Sexy?
Sexy.
Yes.
Sexy skeksis.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Sexy
so hard to say.
sexy.
Yeah,
I didn't
listen,
expect it to be that bad.
I mean,
Dark Crystal's a hard thing to say.
the words Dark Crystal?
Just like saying in your mouth just brings a lot of like emotion behind it.
Dark crystal.
Oh yeah.
You just got PTSD right there. I saw it in your eyes.
Yeah, you saw the amount of times I've seen that movie flash, it was like, whoa. Gelfling. Sorry. I do love me some Skeksis.
Yeah.
Though.
You became a skeksis when you said that.
In a way, there's a Skeksy inside of all of us.
That's terrifying.
Ah.
Sexually, I mean.
And mine's sexy,
Oh.
Exactly.
according to Raj.
Most
According to me.
Skeksis. Actually, no, they're not
No,
sexy. I can't even.
I would
can't,
not.
Yeah.
Mine is.
Intercourse.
Yeah, no.
The Gelfling? A little bit.
Listen.
The one chick from the movie? I mean, like, look.
If the time is right
Exactly. When the planets align and the crystal calls. When the crystal...
and consent is given.
Well, of course. But when the crystal calls, you know?
There you go.
I'm also joined by Katie Sederi.
Hi.
What's up? What's new? How's it going?
How's your week been, Katie?
Yeah.
My week's been good.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a whole lot of caffeine, and so now I have a whole lot.
That's right. You
More
have
caffeine.
The interesting thing is that I'm also joined by my co-host Raj.
Hello. It's Raj.
Hi.
The interesting thing is that Raj, you know, a famous. Can I call you a drug connoisseur?
I mean, yeah, totally.
I'd say so because
Yeah.
I just said, "Oh, I'm gonna take my vitamins. You want one, Raj?" And you said, "Yeah, I'm down to take anything at this point."
Yeah,
So,
I'm a connoisseur.
A good friend and drug connoisseur, Raj. Despite the fact that he, you know, smoked cigarettes and the devil's lettuce, and, other various things. Raj, I feel like you don't have any crippling addictions. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, that becomes okay. So this has been a rant I've been trying to go on for fucking forever now.
This is your platform.
It's kind of bullshit that people of color aren't allowed the same like space to feel the problems of mental illness as white people are.
Mm-hmm.
Like white people are allowed to, like at least here they're like, oh, I'm so depressed, I've had anxiety, I left class early, I didn't go to class, blah blah. I can't do that, and that's through generational like. I know a lot of people who are people of color can relate. Like, you're kind of told that you're the savior of your family, and school's the way to do that. So no matter how shit I am, even with this podcast, I could be feeling like garbage. I have to show up for my responsibility at least. So it's one of those things where I
take a sick day for what it's worth.
I should.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I so as much as I do indulge in a lot of drugs and stuff, I can't really have an addiction.
Yeah.
Because my just the way I grown up, it's just not a thing. Except for Molly. Molly broke it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but that's definitely right. White people can just get away with shit.
Really, anything.
Yeah, it's so fucked up.
Like, I can't imagine going to like a meeting where you're like, oh, I missed 3 classes.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
I had 4 Indian step siblings that I lived with for a long time, and I just coast through life constantly.
Yeah.
And my mom is always like, you know what, Liam, you'll land on your feet. And like these kids, like if they messed up one thing, they'd get like fucking beat, you know?
Exactly.
Like,
it's fun.
Yeah, man. It's serious. But Katie, on the other hand, as you know, as part of the classic white privilege,
I have a very bad caffeine addiction.
Well, I've been where you are. Like, I have. Like,
having a caffeine addiction?
Super.
Dude.
That was like the one thing that got me out of addiction was caffeine.
Yeah. I drank 3 Rockstars in a day once, and Rockstars have like as much caffeine as like 4 cups of coffee.
Bro.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's when I had a heart attack.
Well, that's
Oh my
yeah, I can
gosh.
imagine why.
Yeah.
I drank 1 Rockstar and I like cried for a while in the
That's
bathroom.
terrifying.
Yeah. So, you know, it's coming for you.
Yeah,
All
no,
right. Thank you for the warning.
I really can't do caffeine. If I do it in really small amounts because I'm white and I have anxiety.
Caffeine just kind of calms me down. I used to drink soda like all the fucking time.
Same.
And like all that shit. And I used to be so irritable and like pissed off at literally anything until I like got soda in me. And then I was just so chill.
Wow.
That's crazy.
No.
Yeah, it was bad.
That's addiction, I guess.
That is addiction. That's what I had to learn to stop. I had a slight gambling addiction for a minute. Just like for about a month and a half.
Yeah, I went into...
CSGO skin betting is a terrifying slippery slope, guys.
Yeah.
Don't get
Loot
into
boxes in general. Fuck that shit.
Yeah,
man.
it's bad.
Yeah. Hey,
But I've defeated addiction.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Now I can't have it.
So
except I do.
to celebrate, why don't you tell the people what this podcast is all about?
All right, so
It's a bad celebration, but it's like it's something.
It's something. So this podcast consists of 2 circumcised and 2 uncircumcised people. And
Wow, good callback. It's a last week joke, folks.
And essentially, what we do is we watch canon-only episodes of Naruto, no filler, and then we sit down and we talk about it.
That's right, we do. That's it, man. That's pretty much it. I mean, we talk about other stuff too. You know, it's good for
Addiction.
We talk about addiction.
We
It's
do.
true. Yeah. We talk about drugs. A fair deal.
Fair.
We talk about class and race inequality. We talk about politics.
Yeah.
Capitalism.
We're the podcast for everyone.
We talk about peeing and fingering.
We talk a lot about peeing and fingering.
Yes.
We do. Probably some of that up ahead. But in addition to that, we also talk about this week episodes 56 and 57 of Naruto, which is more training to complete the summoning jutsu with
yeah.
Naruto and Jiraiya. So, without any further ado, let's talk about it. We open at the waterfall where Jiraiya and Naruto are training with 4 girls splashing around in the basin while Jiraiya peeps on them from the bushes. Again, where are these girls coming from? What is the
The
deal with this?
hotel
Yeah.
across the street.
It started, and I thought that I started watching the other episode like from the middle, and I skipped ahead because I was like, "Is this the right thing?" And
Yeah,
I
like
was
last
like,
week's
"Oh
episodes?
nope, haven't seen this," and then went back.
Oh, yeah.
Like I thought I was watching like last week's episodes by
But
accident.
Naruto is training nearby, and he manages to summon something somewhere between a tadpole and a frog. And he starts to... He's like...
Anybody know what
cute.
it is? Anybody remember from like 7th grade science? What
Wait,
the-
there's
I
a term
loved
for the
it.
term?
yeah.
The first human?
Hit
Is
me
this it?
No.
Yes, this is... Yes.
The first human was
That's
when
the term.
Naruto
It
summoned.
goes tadpole, the first human, frog.
There's an in between. It's like tadpole and then it's like it's the same the spectrum of like larva, pupil.
Yeah. Wait, do you know what it's
it?
called?
No.
Oh.
I was wondering if
I
anybody.
thought
was
you were
waiting
about
for
to be
you
like,
to
No.
because it's called this.
No,
Yeah.
that's one thing I.
But there is a term.
There
out
is
there.
a term, and I was
For
curious if
the
Any evolutionaries out there?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah, I'm giving it a
Evolutionaries?
Googs.
Evolutionaries. Is that what they be called?
I don't know. You're the one doing a project on evolutionaries.
Am I?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Darwin and music.
Oh my god, yo, I submitted that. That is the worst test I've ever written.
It sounded so cool.
Yeah, it is so I absolutely hate. Okay, this class pisses me off because every fucking assignment is just to benefit her fucking shit class because look at psychology and music is not a thing that's funded here or really given a shit about. So every assignment is one of those like in support of music teaching in psychology and like in health and stuff. Oh, why should
So
we
you're
support it?
writing dissertations on why the class should
Every
exist for the
assignment,
class?
literally, yeah,
Fuck
is
that.
just helping her.
Yeah.
One assignment was literally why we should have music in like education purposes.
Yeah.
We had to defend the funding of music in education, which pissed me
for
off.
the class.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it pissed me off so bad because I'm so with that to like have music in school still, like that's fire.
it's the-
But why would you give me a 5-page essay on that? I don't care.
Yeah,
I
I
passed
think-
that shit. It doesn't affect me. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
If anyone's wondering, it's called a froglet, which is
Froglet.
such a dumb
They're like a
name.
food.
It's pretty
Which I also made fun of a blanket once that just had a picture of a frog, and of like a something and said froglet on the bottom, like it was like baby animals.
Who
and
is
I
that
made fun of
made
it 'cause I was
for?
like,
But
a baby frog is a tadpole, like not
These
a froglet. They're teaching the
motherfuckers
kids
are
wrong.
toads, though. So would it be called a toadlet?
Oh, I don't know.
Toddlet.
I didn't do that.
Well,
in my
Good name for a
research.
baby Todd.
being from upstate New York,
Uh-huh.
we have like a weird amount of like small bodies of water that tadpoles
Do
grow
we ever?
in.
Yeah.
And then I get a shit ton of baby frogs, and I used to collect them, kind of.
Yeah,
and
gotta
I'd like
catch 'em all.
scoop them out of my pool and save them from dying
Yeah.
in chlorine.
Put them in people's mouths.
But I was the and this was a conversation and joke I had with my ex.
Mm-hmm.
I was the frog queen to my toddler frogs, is what I called them.
Yeah. The story is just
That's
that
all.
you had a collection of
I
frogs
appreciate that
over
you-
which you ruled.
that I called my toddler frogs.
I like it.
I appreciate that you use the word X, because a lot of people who go like they talk about their old partners, they go the partner at the time, like just
Yeah, just say X.
Just say
It's
X.
really
My
fine.
ex-boyfriend.
Ex-boys.
Yeah, no, they're just
Specifics.
called froglets still.
Bro, are you just reading about froglets?
Well, yeah, I'm trying
She
to
didn't hear
figure
my
out-
story.
Put it away.
I'm trying to figure out if it's a toadlet, but it's
There's more
just
important
also a
things than
froglet.
froglets.
Sorry. It's such a dumb name.
Yeah.
You're telling me Naruto
I like
over Froglet? That's what we're on right now. Naruto over Froglet, Katie.
That's true.
And you're not with us.
Yeah.
You're against
He's
us.
saying-
Naruto over
he's saying
Froglet.
We're on
got it.
Naruto over
I
Froglet.
thought he said Naruto for Froglet, like as if Naruto's running for the position.
Naruto
of
is for Froglet.
Yeah,
I was
My
yeah.
name is Naruto Uzumaki, and I'm gonna be the 5th Hokage, and I'm for Froglet.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
I was
campaign
like,
thing.
what?
That's how you get the
Imagine
toad
a
vote.
Froglet but with Naruto's hair. And he like does that whole
Ooh.
fifth Hokage speech.
That'd be kind of cute.
Somebody
Right?
Photoshop that shit.
Maybe that'll be the episode. You don't even know.
Naruto for
How would a
Froglet.
frog say believe it? Or read it?
Have I showed you guys my frog thing that I do?
Do it.
What?
What?
Wait, is it
Are you gonna
audible?
stick your tongue out? Okay, I'll throw something up. Catch it.
Wait, is it audible? Because if
Oh,
it's not,
no.
then it's...
Yeah,
Alright,
that
well,
is spooky.
You gotta
So
describe it.
it's essentially, you know how frogs when they ribbit their little
Big croak
sack.
under chin
Chin sack?
bubbles out? I can do that, and I used to.
How?
Chin sack.
What
It's
are you
because
doing?
It's because she ruled over so many frogs when she was a kid.
Morgan is such a frog
Wait, that's
person.
crazy.
I can
What
imagine
did
you
you- what did
wearing
you
like
call
a
yourself
really
again?
shit cape.
Frog queen,
Frog queen of the
toddler frogs.
toddler frogs.
Can you imagine you wearing like a really like runny down cape and like an aluminum foil like hat?
Mm-hmm.
Just like a
most of the time,
scepter.
most of the time it was just a bikini.
That makes it even better. That's so funny.
I'm sorry, so you were like squatting in a bikini in front of a bunch of toddler frogs? And like, you're my children.
Well, my ex-boyfriend looked on and was like, "Why am I
Say you
doing
believe
this?"
it in frog, and they're like, and you're like, yes.
And I did the chin thing.
I believe it too.
I hate when you do that.
That's terrifying.
So speaking,
Yes.
speaking of Naruto over froglets, Naruto's he's struggling to tell the difference between like frogs and tadpoles, and it's just been so much, he's been working on this for so long. Suddenly, Naruto collapses, but Jiraiya isn't surprised, because at this point in this episode, we did a little time skip. It's 3 weeks into their training.
Which is weird. Okay, because there's like 4 weeks in a month.
And the finals are a month away.
Yeah,
So
so
we're a week away from the finals.
I
Yeah.
definitely didn't get that.
Mm-hmm.
Did they say that?
yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
missed
why
it.
that's why I'm like, damn, listen up.
Yeah, no.
It's a week till the finals. All right, this is it, Morgan.
Whoa.
Wait till the finals, baby.
A week, Morgan.
Oh my god.
Do I
Actually,
have to
Am I
summon?
still making a froglet?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What's he
Someone
gonna
should draw all his froglets. Do
what's
that.
He, oh yeah, actually, I would love to see that. But what's he gonna do against Neji? Put out a tadpole, gentle.
Well, would Neji see that coming? They're all training because they're only like training what they
just
know.
surprise
you
against
know?
their enemies. Yeah.
So what better surprise than not fighting at all? and
Summoning
letting a toad
jutsu, and
fight?
it's just a tadpole. And you're like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
and
And
see
it's
that
like,
runs
coming.
over and
It's a
farts in his face.
distraction.
He just like pulls out a gun and shoots him. Didn't see the
distraction.
bullet either. huh?
ninja tool.
Ninja tool.
Yeah, that would be Hayate. Neji would be like, have a bullet shot in him, and he'd be like, I'm pretty sure this is cheating. And Hayate would be like, hey, it's the same as a dog or someone else fighting for you.
It's the same as that tadpole right there. All a ninja
It's
tool.
all a ninja tool. So we cut to the Hokage's mansion, and the third is looking at pictures of his predecessors, taking some time specifically to observe the man who should have succeeded him, the fourth Hokage. Yeah. Anko approaches the third, and he assures her that she shouldn't have survivor's guilt after her encounter with Orochimaru in the Forest of Death. The Hokage considers that even he would probably lose in a fight against Orochimaru at this point. He's like, oh, Orochimaru is so strong, Anko wishes the fourth was still alive, but the third commands her not to think in such a way. He died a hero 13 years ago. Shit, I talked about that last week.
There we go.
Yeah, there it is.
13, baby.
So I guess our boy is 13 now. He was 12 at the beginning of the series, I think.
Happy birthday.
I know, we just skipped over his
Another
birthday.
good show.
Well, we didn't skip over.
13.
Oh.
We didn't skip over his birthday. It was Katie's birthday too.
Oh,
Love
right.
that. Happy birthday, Katie.
Happy birthday, Katie.
What?
You're 13 now.
I'm 13.
Congrats.
I'm a 13-year-old boy.
Oh my god.
What is it?
Wait,
13-year-old boys, bro. Yes.
you know when Naruto does his sexy harem jutsu? That's Katie.
Oh.
So Katie's a little boy doing sexy jutsu this whole time? Huh. Last week we thought she was an astral projection. This week we think she's a 13-year-old boy.
No.
We learn a lot about each other on this little podcast of ours.
Oh,
Frog
jeez.
Queen and sexy harem jutsu.
Yes.
Wow. Then the Hokage, he steps out for air, for a little smoke, and he's like, on his way out, he's like, hey, Anko, it's not your fault. And she's like, oh, man. And then he's like, it's not your fault. And then she starts crying, you know? Like that scene from Good Will Hunting. Have you seen that movie? This is a reference.
This needs to stop now.
Me referencing really specific stuff that nobody here has seen?
But you're only making eye contact with me, but you don't give me enough time in between questions to answer your questions, so then I'm just staring at you while you're talking.
Stop me, please. That's all I want. That's the point of this podcast. Back at the waterfall, Jiraiya dumps water on Naruto to wake him up. The sage tells Naruto that he must train like his life depends on it, or he won't get anywhere. After all, like I said, it's already been 3 weeks, folks. We got a ticking clock on this bitch.
He's been doing nothing for 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's at a toddlet, or a toadlet, or whatever the fuck we
Froglet.
decided to call it.
A toddler frog.
A toddler frog, right. Naruto asks for a trick to mastering the summoning jutsu, and Jiraiya decides that the boy must put his life at risk, which Naruto instantly agrees to, seemingly without giving it like enough thought, you know?
Yeah, sounds like Naruto.
True that. Yeah.
Naruto asks, like, oh, can you just teach me a trick? And he's like, a trick? Well, I don't know. And then he's like, you're not going to teach me? Like, as if there was a trick that was mentioned, but Naruto was the one who made up the trick.
Yeah.
And so how does he know that there is a trick that he's not teaching him?
It seems as if
he was just being mad for no reason.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
That's
I just wanted to point out that Naruto
wrong.
made no sense.
Hey, listen, man, you're NaruTalking my language. I'll tell you that much.
NaruTalking my language. Imagine during foreplay you say that. I would leave. I would walk out the room, bro.
I actually think that's my kink.
What if there's like a fan, right, who you meet and like you guys get together, right? And then in the bedroom she's like, "Ooh, baby, NaruTalk about."
This is a mistake. I gotta go. I cannot. I just can't.
No, she's like looking at you and like
ladies.
biting your lip and like, you know, making sexy eyes, and she's like, "Ooh, NaruTalk dirty to me."
I'm gonna walk.
We open in the bedroom.
The pants are coming up, and as I walk out the door, you're a story on the next episode. That is what you are.
No, and then
I leave.
No, I think you gotta really stick with it, Raj, and then right before things start happening, you do the little intro song.
Like that.
What if like?
Oh my god! What if he did
When you came, you go Kyo. That's what I'm thinking.
You go, Kyo!
I hate that so much.
I also acted out a little bit. That was probably too far.
We're all friends here. We're all naked right now. It's fine. Raj just got a boner, you know.
A little bit. A lot.
So, wow. So, so Naruto is like, he's agreed to train like his life depends on it. And so Jiraiya and Naruto go to a bathhouse. And Naruto's like, I'm sorry, are you just looking for more girls to peep on? But his master is like, no. We're here for just a chill little bath. And they hop in the bath and they have a chill little bath. And that's it. There's no training at all, it seems like.
This is nice.
Yeah.
This is a cute little scene where they're just doing nothing.
Mm-hmm. And when they leave, Naruto is like, why did we take that bath?
Which is funny because the first time that they took a bath, it was seemingly with no reason.
Yeah.
And Naruto was like, this
afterwards, and it was like after training, and then they were going home.
Yeah, but before that, Naruto had been training like a lot for 3 weeks. So like,
but this might be like earlier in the morning, you know, and because like when they took the bath last time, like Katie said, it was at the end of the training, and at this, Jiraiya had just been like, "Are you ready to go to the next level in your training?" And
train like your life depends on it.
And then it was
We're
like,
gonna take a bath.
yeah,
Which is why it was weird.
Naruto's all confused, but Jiraiya distracts him from like questioning by he's like, well, what is your favorite place to eat? And so obviously they go to Ichiraku Ramen.
Yeah.
And Jiraiya's like, hey Naruto, enjoy your meal as if it's your last. And Naruto's almost concerned.
Yeah.
But he's too busy.
Like,
eating.
Exactly, yeah.
Why do we do that? When someone says something we obviously hear, we go, what did you say?
I don't understand it
Why
at
do we
all.
do
Well,
that?
it's just your brain buffering, basically, I think, you know?
It's just weird, because Naruto def heard him.
It's like how people at home don't hear this, right? But the best thing that you guys do, because it really helps with editing, is when I'm talking, if you guys have something to say, you'll go, which, and then take a long break, and then say the next thing. Raj has mastered the technique, and Morgan, you've just naturally started doing it, and it's great because I just cut out the pause, and it sounds like you guys are like, which is interesting because of this. But which is interesting. Yeah, it's like which, and then you take the time because you're like announcing.
No, I'm so accustomed to having to wait in line to talk because I come from a very large family, and holidays is just a lot of talking over each other. So I've kind of mastered the art of the finger raise and the
Jesus,
and
we've talked so much about fingering
no,
that as soon
I'm
as you
gonna
said
make it
that.
better. The finger raise and the insertion. So it's like somebody's having a conversation, everybody's yelling over each other, and then you go, well, and you raise your finger, and then they're like, oh, that person has something to say.
Yeah, so eventually it loops back and you join the queue.
And then I will always remember what I have to say because it's attached to my finger and inserted into the conversation.
Ah, very nice. It's like concho, which we learned about in the last episode, which is surprise anal fingering.
Oh my gosh.
For those of you that...
Surprise!
If you're joining us for the first time. When Naruto's finally full of ramen, he tries to thank Pervy Sage, but the man has run off, leaving only a giant stuffed frog in his wake, forcing Naruto to settle the bill. Jiraiya approaches Naruto as he walks home, and the boy yells at him for running out on the bill. Jiraiya, yes?
His wallet was so cute.
The
He
little...
had a cute little frog with that. He was like, this is emptier than like what? I don't know, but it was really cute. It was a fun wallet. I feel like someone should have made that merch.
Well, it was pink.
Oh yes,
So
I
no
do
one
like
liked it.
everything pink.
And also, I think it is merch. I think that
Really?
the frog... Well, it is merch. Yeah, it's like sort of a little iconic, you know?
I love that.
It gave
I didn't
me-
know that.
It's just so funny that he just like, have you seen anything emptier? And then just like a little frog mouth.
It was so
What is with
cute.
the frogs?
I don't know,
I know,
but it was
'cause
wonderful.
It would seem that Naruto, unless he bought it in these 3 weeks, you think he was training to get a frog and he was like, if I carry around my money in a frog, it'll help me summon one.
Maybe.
Aw.
I mean, like, maybe, right?
Maybe
I like
there's
that.
like, I don't know. I'm expecting some reader response. Someone telling me that like frogs and toads are the most holiest of animals.
I
in
know. There's
Japanese
always somebody
culture.
who's like, well, actually.
Actually,
Now, where does he get his money?
Ninja missions. They get commish. That's the
Really?
whole economy is built around that.
That makes
that
sense.
Zabuza mission alone was like
Guys,
hella bread.
We've
explained
Oh.
this. Wait,
No, you have not.
yes, we have.
No,
You
you
probably
have
haven't,
not.
I just didn't
No,
get it,
you've
but-
explained the different levels of missions,
Uh-huh.
but you've never explained that they get paid for them.
Yeah, dude, that's why.
I assumed they were like students and are just,
No, 'cause
learning,
it's,
and that's
it's,
their
it's,
payment.
It's a military village, so they get commissioned work from people in the outside land. Like sometimes it's to like protect
Oh.
someone in battle. You know, sometimes it's
Yeah.
to, as we've seen, walk dogs through minefields or something.
Yeah.
And
No,
it's-
because I literally thought, because like one of my friends at home is in the culinary program.
Yeah,
And she literally works for like 12 plus hours a day
and doesn't
doesn't get paid because she's learning.
right, but. As we've established, well, at least I think that most of the people in the village are genin, so these kids like aren't in school anymore. You know?
Oh, true.
Yeah, like being.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, these even though they're like 13, that's like grown up in the ninja
Yeah.
world. Yeah, because I mean like they're probably dying all the
Wow.
time anyways. But yeah, so the higher ranked the mission is, you know, from whatever like D to F.
Yeah.
Or S. That's the more money that it costs. So that's why Tazuna lied about the mission with Zabuza and Haku.
So S stands for super expensive.
That's right. A stands for astoundingly expensive. B stands for
Bitch, that's
Basically
expensive.
bitch expensive. C stands for
I was gonna say kind of expensive.
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 And F stands for expensive.
Fuck, that's expensive.
Fuck, that's expensive. Although the F one, I don't even know if there is an F rank. I think it's
Fairly
just
expensive.
fairly expensive, but not really that much.
What would you do in an F rank? That's just like go wipe somebody's ass.
I think it's like hand in your mission.
Speaking of washing
Wiping
people's
ass.
ass.
Oh my.
I just, you know what sucks? Like, little kids talk a lot of shit for someone who needs to have their, like, ass wiped.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait, do you have to wipe kids' ass at the
I
daycare?
don't. That's, like, the one thing they don't let me do.
Yeah.
It's,
I was
They
gonna-
don't let you.
No, I was gonna say like, are you allowed to do stuff like
I
that?
really don't want to.
Well, I think you don't want to, but like I don't, because there has to be some kind of like hierarchy at this,
Yeah.
because you're a college student,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, and
He's
like
not
these
getting
are
paid for his needs,
actual
no.
children,
Yeah, these are little people.
Yeah.
I don't know.
tiny humans.
Even
I-
the highest ranking.
I stay away from the bathroom. I don't go near it.
Yeah.
I
Except sometimes if they're reading that one girl a really good
Oh,
story.
yeah, sometimes I need to, like, pass them a book. Like, they'll be like, Raj, can you give me this book? And I'm like, alright, I got you. And I'll
She's
slip
peeing
it in.
again. And you throw the book over. Yeah.
Fucking insane.
But you were talking about kids wiping kids' asses?
Yeah, I just think it's bullshit.
Oh yeah.
How they talk so much shit
Oh.
for someone who can't even go to the bathroom. on
That's
their own.
crazy. There was a time when somebody else wiped my ass.
That's insane.
That's wild.
Somebody else wipes my ass now.
I didn't know how to use a toilet at some point.
Dude, like that's like yeah. Also,
Wait, what?
sorry, we moved past that statement pretty quick. Katie, what did you say? 'Cause I'll hear it in the edit, but
It's me.
What's he? Katie, someone wipe your ass
No,
still.
she wipes my ass
Hey,
apparently.
why? Why? When did this
I
happen?
made a joke. I was like, oh, somebody else wipes my ass. And Katie was like, it's me.
Ah,
Really excited.
Really quietly so that we couldn't react, but it's still gonna like it's still she's loud and close enough to
hear it.
Right, so it's gonna be her saying it's me and us
So it'll just be
blasting
an Easter
past
egg.
an Easter egg of you wiping Morgan's ass. The people in the Discord are like, "Oh, listen this week. I'm totally cool that Katie wiped Morgan's ass."
People would support that. People so would.
Dave Mata's like, "Hey, rock on, guys. Was it not for me? But it's totally not.
No.
I do not
He's
judge
like,
you.
Listen, I wipe my kid's ass, so there's no reason that Katie can't wipe Morgan's
Guys, he has
ass.
children. It's true. Wow, that's crazy. Oh man.
That he's wiping other people's
People wipe people's asses, you know?
people.
Yeah. My dad works at a nursing home. He probably wipes old people's asses.
Should I tell? Is it disrespectful?
Nah. It's
My grandfather
Uh-huh.
has since passed. Rest in peace.
Sure.
Papa.
If you're listening to
If you're
NaruTalk up
listening to
there.
NaruTalk up in heaven, I love you. But for a while, he was still living at home, but he had a really bad fall. He was basically sitting on the floor for hours.
Yeah.
And my dad went over to his house and found him, and he was in the hospital for a while, and then rehab, and then he came home for a little bit.
Yeah.
And my father essentially moved in with him and lived with him for like, it's not my dad's dad, it's my mom's dad, but they were really, really close.
Oh, that's true.
My dad was like the son he never had, and it was beautiful and wonderful. But he moved in with him for a while, and had to shower him and wipe his ass and do all the things.
That's
So
it's sad.
and it's one of those and I think like my mom had to at some point too, and it's one of those things where like these are the people that raised you and wiped your ass as a child and bathed you, and then you have to do it to them.
So in a way,
you regress.
You're honoring your grandfather by having Katie wipe your ass.
Papa, I love you. Pete, if you're
This
up
one's
there,
for you.
Every time Katie wipes my ass, I think of you.
This one's for you, said Raj, pulling down his pants and turning around, handing Liam a roll of toilet paper.
Dedicate it to my grandfather, please. His name is Peter.
Oh well.
Next time, if you're listening out there and you're wiping someone's ass, think of Peter next time you do it.
This wife's for Peter.
Wow.
So, Jiraiya...
I'm sweating.
Yeah, so Naruto's walking along, he's got an empty wallet, and Jiraiya's like, yo, what's up, dog? And Naruto's like, bitch, why'd you run out and you didn't pay the bill? But Jiraiya distracts him again.
Why
He's
do
like,
you talk like that?
because...
So I won't treat you.
What was that sound?
See the demon outside? Holy shit.
Fuck was that?
No. Wait, there's sirens. Wait, someone might have just straight up got shot.
Where are the signs?
Yeah, I don't think that's what it
Well,
got.
I'll give you a
Someone might
live-
have gotten attacked by a dinosaur.
Possibly. Jurassic, is that
I thought it sounded like a giant slab of metal falling off or
No.
something.
It's just a bunch of white kids on skateboards.
You know, one of my biggest fears, honestly, I swear
Is
to God.
white kids on skateboards?
A little bit, yes. I will cross the street. But a bigger one of my fears is, no, do you know what I mean? First of all,
Fucking terrifying.
do you know what I mean? Like, especially when you're like a tween and there's teenagers somewhere,
Yeah.
and you're with your mom,
Yeah.
and you're like walking, and the teenagers are all there, all cool and shit, like talking about their MySpace,
yeah.
and you're with your mom, and you're like,
And she's bullying you, and
You like go over her hand and stuff.
yeah, and you're like, oh, and maybe you know them a little bit, like through something or whatever, and you're like,
they're
oh.
like one of them is like your best friend's like older brother.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And yeah, that was the worst thing. I remember I have a very distinct memory of going to Friendly's once. I think probably for my birthday. I really like Friendly's.
Friendly's is solid.
Yeah, it's one of my
I've
favorite
never had
restaurants. It's my favorite restaurant.
Oh, we should go.
We really should, yeah.
Real radio mukbang. At
Next time,
Friendly's.
next
my
time we have a
God.
business trip.
Oh
We'll go to Friendly's.
I like going on business trips with Liam because I don't pay for anything and we're on company time and money, so it just seems professional when we eat at McDonald's.
Yeah, our big boy breakfasts. Tune in January 6th. To hear about our big boy. What was I saying?
Friendly's. One time.
It's hardly even a story, but there were these teenagers next to us and I hid and then I ran away into the car and my mom came out and she was like, Liam, everyone's gonna think you're a loser if you act like that. And I was like, but I'm scared, and they were like, and then my mom was like, and it doesn't matter, they're not gonna be your friends anyways, you know? And
Mom.
classic Melinda.
Classic Melinda.
Yeah, no. Teenagers are scary, but also so are grown adult men. One time I was at the Big Mall in Syracuse with my mom, and I was like 13 at the time. And I was wearing like weird patterned leggings. I was going through a phase.
It happens.
And I was walking into the mall with my mom, and these two guys in a huge creepy truck drove by me. And as we were walking by, one of them yelled out the window,
Yeah.
"Yo, look at that ass!"
Wow, that's crazy.
My mom didn't hear it. I was 13, and I
Yeah.
was like, What?
Yeah.
I was like,
shit.
one, what ass?
I'm showing your mom like that. Come on. Don't do her like that.
Oh, dab.
That's so good.
Next time your mom will be like, nice ass. Great ass, Morgan's mom.
I don't, dab, first of all.
Does Deb listen?
No.
No. Send her-
Bimbap might.
When you go home, tell her
That she
nice
has
ass.
that Raj thinks she has a nice ass.
Yeah.
She's working on it. She does like 200 squats a day.
That's like some Rock Lee level shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
My mom's nuts.
Yeah, that's wild.
You know what else is nuts? This thing that happens.
This thing where Jiraiya... Oh, right. So Naruto's mad that he ran out on the bill.
Yeah.
So Jiraiya's like, hey, is there a special girl in your life? And Naruto gets distracted. But it's really cute. He's like, no, there's no one special in my life. There's no one, just Sakura. Which I thought was,
I love that.
I thought that was a really
It's
cute.
Katie loved that. That was such a Katie moment.
I loved that.
Katie, you gotta say that. You're on a podcast.
I know.
Raj cannot voice your voice for you.
That's a fun game.
What?
Raj
Well,
does
'cause-
Katie, you do me. Well, no.
Fanfiction soon. Write that shit. Let it happen.
Wait,
I
think-
meant like Raj voices Katie and Liam voices me. I just didn't think about the words that I said before I said them.
That was something
I'm
else.
not ashamed.
that was great.
Podcast canon.
So, Jesus. Jiraiya instructs Naruto to find Sakura and hug her. Naruto turns to the side and he wrestles with the morality and consequences of non-consensual hugging. He's sitting there, he's like, if I hug her, she'll punch me. But if I don't hug her, I don't get to hug her or something? I don't know. He's got a good conscience. This boy's got a good head on his shoulders, you know?
Yeah.
But Jiraiya pushes him to do it. Naruto tracks his teammate down, and Sakura assumes Naruto is asking for money.
How often does he do this?
That was crazy.
That's weird.
What the fuck? Like, how?
I think it just emphasizes the fact that Sakura's from a rich home, and Naruto's just poor as fuck.
Also, that's where he gets his money.
Yeah, well,
It's from Sakura.
yeah, well, I think that what you said. Sorry, I'm buffering. I can't interrupt myself when I'm reading the outline. That would be funny though. I was like, Sakura assumes Naruto, which is interesting because what was I saying? Oh yeah, Naruto probably lives off like a stipend from like the gut. Like he's probably on welfare because he doesn't have parents. So that's probably how he buys all his, or at least pre-ninja missions. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Lauren?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I kind of forgot that he doesn't have parents.
Yeah. It's sad.
Does he like, is he in a home?
Yeah, where does he
Well,
live?
yes, he's in a home. Is he in a home?
In the first arc, Land of Waves, he has a home.
Yeah.
But it's just him who lives there. I think it was left by someone.
I do remember this.
Yeah.
Because I think like the first episodes we watched, it opens.
With him, yeah. He wakes up and he eats.
Yeah. Okay.
shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we reckon maybe like an orphanage at an early age, and then onto like just a public housing unit. You know.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? They fucking figured it out. The Leaf Village is on that democratic socialism wave. You know what I mean? There's a safety net, but also it encourages people to work. You know.
Katie, did you just snap? Not make
I
noise?
was. Yes.
Why, Katie? I can't. Okay, listen, Katie. There's. You have to either make an audible noise or not shake the table. What you just did was shake the table and not make noise. So what that's gonna sound like is. And
Well, that's my applause.
It's just Katie shaking the table.
So, Naruto tracks down Sakura. Oh, right. She assumes he's asking for money, but he assures her that he's not, but he struggles to admit why he's really there. You know, it's hard to talk to him.
nervous.
Exactly. Frustrated by his idiocy, she starts to walk away, but he pulls her back, and she trips, almost falling into his arms.
Oh.
But she stops herself, punching Naruto hard because he was leaning in for that hug, you know? And then she storms away. She storms off. Naruto
Which is such like a 13-year-old thing to make a hug a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That
he
was
was
so
like, "Come
weird.
to me!" Like it was so cute. I don't know. He
It
just
probably
wanted
blew
a
his
hug.
mind. No, yeah,
Yeah.
that's insane.
I mean, this is the most action he's ever gotten. Grabbing Sakura's arm briefly.
It's crazy that
Well, and that one kiss.
Sasuke.
it's weird. Like evolutions of like sexual steps, and then like what you do in life.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, when we were like in middle school, you're right. A hug was like a big deal. Now, just have sex with people.
literally,
That's crazy.
like
Literally.
I like you could. I have sex with people. Yes. But the fact that like
I just meant like, you know what I mean? Like that's the baseline now, you know?
Yeah, it's just weird. Like people like some people like do hard drugs before they kiss someone first.
Yeah,
like that's insane.
Yeah.
It's so weird. People, life, sex.
And it's
I don't
also,
know. There's this coworker of mine. I was going through a weird thing with this person, and we were just talking about it in the break room. And this dude is just like the most direct, blunt guy ever. He's like, Raj, sex means fucking nothing. Literally nothing. It's not a big deal at all. And I was like,
Actually,
cool.
it means fucking another person, not fucking nothing.
And he's like, you know what you gotta do here? Here's your college layout plan. You're gonna find a really good friend, right? A really hot, really cool friend. You're gonna be like, hey, let's have sex as friends. And since then, that's just been the wave.
And he hasn't even asked me, folks.
And it's
Well,
interesting.
I don't need to ask.
It's interesting
You just do.
because it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
Because I understand it, but for myself, do not agree at all.
Yeah. Well, it is different for every individual person, I think. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, I've only ever been in one relationship, and it was a
Yeah,
very
and
serious,
that's-
very long-term relationship.
Right.
So, like, I remember after my breakup, you were like, you just gotta, like, say fuck it and fuck somebody. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
nope. And, like, intimacy is so important to me.
Yeah.
And so special to me that I have no issue with other people doing it. Like, hook up with whoever you want to.
Right.
Have sex
Well,
with as many
it's
people
a
as you
totally
want.
personal
But for me, I literally could not,
Yeah.
like, even comprehend sex with another human being
Yeah.
without them knowing me on an intimate level.
Yeah. Yeah, see, for me, I would be terrified to have sex with someone who knew me on an intimate level at this point. It's been so long since I was in a relationship that would scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Sex is weird.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
weird. It's just a physical activity.
It's
I know,
it's
it should
just
just be like playing cards.
it's like going to
like
the
playing
gym.
cards.
Which is
Yeah.
also really
Playing cards
interesting.
sucks though. Sex is like a
Because
thing.
that's-
you two had this conversation. You're like, oh, sex means nothing. But because I was in a long-term relationship,
Yeah.
like, we'd be like, oh, you want to have sex? Yeah, and then we would just fuck.
Yeah.
But then there were times where we, like, not to be cliche
Made
and gross,
love.
we made
Yeah,
love,
yeah, no,
and it
it's-
was a thing, and
it's a
it
whole
was
different thing.
beautiful and wonderful and emotional.
Well, I think that what is like what a valuable thing to do is to separate sex from making love, and
Yeah.
I think that they can be two different things because I think that like seriously, if sex was more accepted in general, I feel like we wouldn't have war.
Oh yeah, really.
Like if people
If
could,
Molly was legal.
yeah, but I mean, imagine in a world where sex was more casual, it would be like we were on
Yeah.
Molly all the time. You could go
All
up to
the
someone,
time.
and if you both found each other attractive, it wouldn't be this whole weird like, what's your Snapchat?
Yeah.
Are you going to the stew tonight? You know? There's like this place on our campus, but it would just be like, yo, you're really pretty. Like, you want to go have sex and feel really good for like an hour? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then making love could be something different. You know,
Yeah.
if you felt a deep connection with someone, then it could be like the whole like.
Which is true, because like I am friends with so many people that are like, oh no, I like hook up with a different guy like every other day, and I'm
Yeah.
like, good for fucking you. I can't, and mentally I may get there in like a few years.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
may get there in a week. I don't like right now. All I know is that I can focus on myself, and that I need to have an intimate connection with somebody before I can intimately connect with them.
Yeah.
But like kissing is the same thing. Like people think kissing is weird. But, like, you watched me today that I blew somebody a kiss to say goodbye. And, like, I kiss people's cheeks all the time. And, like, I do, like, kiss, like, all the levels of intimacy,
And
people aren't
exactly.
as accepting
And yet,
as they should
I
be.
have a friend who I smoke with, and she thinks she can name everyone she's ever kissed. That's crazy.
That's insane.
So can I.
I've
so
kissed
can I.
so many people. I
Yeah.
feel like kissing is very casual. You know what I mean? Like I just kiss most of my friends. You know.
Well, I can name...
But you're a theater kid. People in the theater kiss all the time.
Exactly. But I
Yeah.
can still name every single person that I've ever kissed.
Oh, I mean, like maybe if you put like a gun to my head, but you know what I mean? Like she's
But-
like kissing means something.
Well, I can
well-
name the one person that I've kissed romantically.
Okay. Yeah.
And then...
Okay, so like, on what level of intimacy is having someone wipe your own ass?
well, that's too much for me to talk about on the podcast.
Yeah.
Katie, it's something Katie and I
Yeah.
can share.
it's a very religious experience with
Did
your
I?
grandfather. And you know,
Nothing.
I just imagine it happening and the bathroom's dark and there's just candles that are lit. And there's a little photo of grandpa.
that's what making love is. Sex is the act. Making love is having someone wipe your ass.
I know.
Then I've never made
I was
love.
gonna say, and if I'm wrong, you guys are gonna have to tell me because I've been doing some wacky shit. Do you want to get back to Naruto?
Yeah.
That got deep, then it got weird. Sex.
That's
Sex.
Hey,
It's
yeah,
fun.
that's true. Yeah, and you know, sex is a little weird for those. There are kids out there listening. You know, when you have sex, there's stuff nobody talks about.
But also, you don't have to have sex.
Oh,
You don't have sex you don't want.
You don't have to have sex you don't want to. And you know what?
No means no.
If you have sex and you don't love it, you know what? That's fine.
That's
too.
okay.
And masturbate.
There's porn everywhere, literally everywhere.
Yeah. Or just watch some like Naruto with the bikini girls. You know?
Yeah.
There's hentai all around you. All you have to do is look.
Any episode with Jiraiya is pretty much just like ecchi,
you're set,
borderline.
baby.
Yeah.
Just know when to pause. You know, like that new Cats trailer.
We
I
need to have a
hate that
conversation
shit.
about that.
I hate that shit so much.
Okay, so I haven't watched it, but I saw your post about it. Explain?
Look, man. All I'm saying is, look, if you watch the new Cats trailer and you get nothing out of it, that's cool. That's you know. But if you watch the new Cats trailer, there's that part where it doesn't matter. But look, all I'm saying is, it can make you question a few things about yourself. It makes a man wonder.
That
you
was
know?
not an explanation whatsoever.
What did you post
You just made me
about the
more
Cats
confused.
trailer?
Good art is good art.
What
alright?
exactly.
That's all it comes
And
down to.
It looks like the Cats movie might be good art. That's all I'm saying.
Naruto and Liam defend furries.
Yes.
Is it because the cats had titties?
Eh.
Okay.
It helps.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't hurt. Naruto and Jiraiya leave the village, and the sage asks if there's anything else that Naruto has always wanted to do. Naruto doesn't have an answer, so Jiraiya knocks him unconscious. He lifts Naruto, planning to put him in mortal danger and force the Nine Tails chakra out, silently asking the fourth Hokage for forgiveness. When Naruto finally wakes up, Jiraiya throws him down and demands he draw upon his chakra reserves to prevent death and succeed in the summoning jutsu. Naruto is confused, but before he can ask any questions, Jiraiya flicks him back, sending him out over a massive ravine.
This is a cool scene.
Yeah, it's... What?
I don't know. It was just so, like, dumb. Like, I get it. But he just shoved him.
Yeah.
You bitch.
You know what is kind of interesting? It kind of shows how strong Jiraiya is.
Yeah.
He literally just poked him and this kid flew back.
I think it was 2 weeks ago when we watched the episode where he removes the seal on his curse mark.
And Naruto flew back when he did the...
He, that was obviously heavier, but, Naruto fucking flew back.
And I mean, I guess it's obvious that Jiraiya would be strong because he's a Sannin.
He's also huge.
Yeah,
That's
true.
I just love the shot of him, Naruto flying through all the hollow bushes, and then he just, comes in front of the ravine, he's like, oh shit,
I'm gonna die.
This is it, wow. Thanks, homie, trained me for 3 weeks and taught me the evolution stages, great.
He taught me what a froglet was, and now it's come to this.
Oh my god. No, because...
Everyone knows the next step after froglet is death. You just gotta attain it.
Because he keeps having them out of water, so it goes... Tadpole, froglet, dead.
So for Naruto, it does go death because they keep... Yeah.
That's it.
As Naruto plummets to his possible death, Jiraiya wonders if he'll be able to draw upon his hidden strength. Jagged rocks.
I hope so.
Yeah, I know.
I hope I didn't just kill him.
Because I might have.
No loss.
Yeah.
Jagged rocks protrude all along the canyon's edge, and Naruto focuses his chakra in his hands and feet to try and cling to them. They're too slippery, and he's falling too fast with too little chakra control, though, and Jiraiya considers that Naruto's only hope is to draw upon the power of the Nine Tails. Back in the village, wow. Iruka.
Urethra.
Yeah. Back in the village. Urethra. Yeah, it translates weirdly, but that's the most direct translation is urethra. No. Back in the village, Iruka.
Speaking of urethra, bro, I was thinking about this while I was peeing in Katie's bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
That's my third biggest fear. That may be my first. Okay, it's teenagers,
Sounding?
Yeah.
dinosaurs appearing,
Is it toothpick fish?
and the fucking urethra fish.
Yeah, toothpick fish.
okay.
What?
Okay.
They're
Please don't go
evil.
into detail on it because it's gonna freak
On sounding?
me out.
No, not sounding. No, toothpick fish.
No.
What is
You know what
sounding?
sounding is?
Okay, sounding
You
is
take
when...
a tuning fork, you hit it, and then you put it in the guy's urethra.
What?
So Liam's fourth greatest fear.
Yeah.
Sounding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Why do people do... You know what? We just had such a sex-positive conversation. If making love to you is sounding... Live your best life. I mean, NaruTalk is pro-freedom. You know?
Live, laugh, love.
Raj,
Oh
I'm
my
so glad that
gosh.
you know what sounding was
Yeah.
though, because I learned that in like the 9th grade when I was friends with like exclusively guys, and I sat with them at lunch, and they were like, "No, bro, like sounding's fucking like dope."
I was those guys. That was me and my friends.
Like I would sit with them at lunch because I didn't have
We're
any
sitting
other
around like, bro,
Okay.
where's your tuning fork at? My Reaper could use some vibration.
It was my ex-boyfriend. This kid I really had a crush on at the
Oh my
time.
god.
One of my best friend's boyfriends, and then these 2 other guys that were just fucking
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, they were
and
just
I would
tuning
sit
fork
there,
fans.
and like they would do trig homework, and then they'd be like, "No, sounding's kind of dope." But I also heard that docking was kind of cool.
What
is that?
It's when one guy has a foreskin and they put their penises together, and he puts his foreskin over the other guy's penis.
Wow.
Why do I know all of
There's
this?
so much weird penis tricks out there.
Literally I think it was actually 10th grade. 10th grade was a wild time. Don't ever be friends with only guys. Don't be friends with only guys who play Fortnite regularly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
But
no.
we didn't. Well, in 9th grade, what
Smite.
we were doing.
Mm.
We were doing. No, I shitted on Smite for a while.
No, my ex-boyfriend and all of our friends are like, no, I gotta get my fucking what is it called? Like the daily thing.
Smite.
Oh, daily challenge.
Daily
yeah.
challenge. Daily.
Yeah. In 9th grade, what was I into? I was into.
CS:GO. Gambling addiction.
Oh shit!
Was that from this episode?
last? But
No.
Wait, no, it
It
was.
was this one.
Yeah.
Folks,
Okay.
we're recording this episode and last week's episode back to back. It's all one. Listen to them both, and it'll be like Infinity War and Endgame, you know?
Oh, wait, no, so
Oh.
so
Sorry, yeah.
I was really into Gmod in like middle school, like stupid.
Yeah.
And then start of high school towards like mid-year, I was like, oh, this isn't fun anymore. So then I got into like CS:GO, like slowly through that.
Yeah.
Then I got into gambling, and then I got into then I got a PS4, and then I got into Bloodborne.
Yeah.
And
Keep it going. Go all the way to Fallen Order.
oh my god. Bloodborne.
Metro? Is Metro? No.
No, there's dude. It's 2014. We have years of gaming
Oh,
to go
wow.
through.
I didn't know Bloodborne was that old.
Yeah, dude, it was the reason I got a PS4 was Bloodborne.
Holy shit.
The only reason.
It's like you're speaking
Then
a different
like
language.
Dark
I
Souls
don't know what
3,
you're talking about.
blah blah
I
blah,
know PUBG.
all this stuff.
Raj and I are trying to get free games sent to us, so we
Yeah.
need to sprinkle in some game talk to send to our good friend Carter.
Carter.
And if you
Alright.
want to know more about Carter, listen to the January.
I love
6th
you, Carter.
episode.
You're the best.
PUBG. I know that
PUBG's cool.
I've never played.
It's my favorite of the battle royales. I think.
one.
Well, no, Apex
Portal?
Legend. Portal was great.
That's a battle royale?
Wait, Portal?
What?
I'm naming games that I
No,
know.
no, yeah,
Just
Portal's
games in
not a
general.
battle
No,
royale.
it's
What the
not, but
fuck?
I've played it.
Is it good?
I played it for like a second.
Review it and you get free games. Quick review.
There's a cool cake.
What would you give
That's
it?
all you need. That's it. There you go. Boom.
8.5 out of 10 if you're dating a weeb.
Hey, wow. That's pretty good. I would imagine most of the people listening probably are dating
Yeah.
weebs.
Or are the weebs themselves.
Or are the weebs themselves?
If you are the weeb yourself, probably like a 7.
Okay.
But overall, I played a bunch of games, and then I got a Switch for my 18th birthday, and then I used that for a little while.
Yeah.
And
Now you're back on PS4.
now I'm Jedi Fallen Order, which is so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, so fucking good. It is so
Do you think
good.
you're enjoying it more than you would have Death Stranding? Honest question.
I don't know if I would enjoy Death Stranding. It's a game where I have to play it.
I'm so everybody seems to hate it.
Yeah.
Watch the Sphere Hunter video.
I know. I shout out the Sphere Hunter. You're awesome.
She likes it. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
I
I
wasn't
want to
watching
like it. I want to like Kojima's vision. I just
Yeah.
need I've seen maybe a minute of gameplay,
I
and
know.
it's just like I can't judge it.
It doesn't look great, but I know you're like the
Yeah.
realest Kojima fan out there. So I'm
I
like-
really want to. I want to believe if someone wants to give me money or to send me the game for PS4,
Yeah.
please do. Digitally. I haven't had a physical copy of games in years.
Yeah, his disk drive's broken.
They broke for 5 years.
Hey
now.
guys, do you guys want to talk about anything that only you guys know about? Katie, the color pink, Morgan, theater.
Pink Theater.
I know about theater too.
You also know about
Let's talk
theater.
about
Yeah,
Legally
yeah.
Blonde.
Why is there
about
no
theater.
plays
Not
about
talking
breast
about-
cancer awareness?
I don't know.
Pink
Should I
theater.
tell plays?
Well, we
to-
do have Rent about AIDS awareness, so
Yeah.
Well, that's
Rent is
AIDS. I
wonderful.
want to hear about
Rent-
breast cancer.
Rent, but for breast cancer though.
I think
Brent cancer.
there's gotta be some, like, underground place somewhere about breast cancer.
There probably is.
Brent cancer.
Breast
Breast
cancer.
cancer.
Someone write it.
Someone write that.
Preferably somebody named Brent.
Yeah, I know. I'm so curious. Back in the village, Iruka teaches history class in front of the Hokage Rock, showing the faces of the village's historical
Oh, yeah,
rulers.
wait, so it's just Mount Rushmore, but except Naruto?
That's right.
Okay, cool.
That's about right. Except, I guess they kind of stay up to date with this one. you
Okay,
know?
So they like recarve. They've got like guys up there with like.
Well, the fourth is up there, and the fourth couldn't have been Hokage very long. You know what I mean? Because the third's still alive, and he just stepped back up. So it seems like as soon as they become Hokage, they carve that shit.
They just get somebody up there with like a chisel.
They made a comment, or what's the little one?
Konohamaru.
Yeah. He's like, oh, well, that's when the old man was young, because, he had hair. Ha 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 ha.
Right,
ha,
yeah.
ha. So it must be, like, right when they become Hokage. They're, like, etching away at this mountain. What happens when they run out of room?
Get a new mountain, I guess.
Carve over?
There's probably a jutsu for that, mountain making jutsu.
Or just like go up the mountain.
Mountain clone jutsu.
Exactly. The real trouble, though, I feel like, is that they kind of start the faces in the middle of the rock, so if they keep going over, it's just going to start looking really weird, unless they loop around.
Yeah, it's a mountain. They go around and then they spiral up until they get to the peak of the mountain.
Okay, but it kind of looked like
really weird,
but it
tiny
also
head
kind of looked like it was at the top of the mountain.
Yeah,
like,
so it can do.
Yeah, it was more like a plateau.
It can do one half loop, and then they're pretty.
Katie
much
just
done.
said plateau. You need to keep going.
It was sort of a plateau. It was a plateau. I think it was flat on top.
Duh.
I think it's a plateau.
Yeah.
I don't wanna. No spoilers. It's a plateau.
No spoilers. Plateau.
I think it's. Guys, it was fun, but I gotta go.
I hate plateaus.
I fucking
Title
plateau.
of this episode: No spoilers. Plateau.
It's a plateau. Actually, that'd be kind of.
I would love to see what Allie does with that.
She'd
No spoilers.
Literally, she would put a plateau
Let's do it
on
with
the
like
title.
glasses on.
Okay. A girl in the class asks who the fifth Hokage is. Dumb bitch. And Iruka informs her that there isn't one yet. And then he's like, who knows? Maybe it could even be me. And this is funny. The third Hokage appears on the roof and he's like, funny joke, loser. No way. And the kids are amazed to see the village's leader. And he heads to the front of the class. Iruka informs them that the third is considered a genius, but the kids struggle to believe that the old man is as strong as they say. Still, Iruka insists that the Hokage is the strongest ninja around, prompting one kid to stand up and announce his goal of becoming the fifth Hokage. But Iruka shuts him down a little roast. He's like, not with your grades, you're not. Bam! Boom! I love it. He's got all those roasts on reserve from Naruto being in school, The third commends the child's confidence, considering that any one of the kids could potentially become Hokage, and celebrating that they can do anything with their youth. He sounds like Guy.
The kid was like, I'm way strong and handsome too, meaning like my face would look good on that plateau.
Oh, I thought he was just being a dick. But
Say
yeah,
plateau one more fucking time.
That time it was just because I wanted you to get mad.
It's a plateau.
what do you have against plateaus?
Nothing. I hate words like that.
Plateau.
Just ones that are
Just
so
say
easy
fucking
to know.
flat mountain.
What's that word? Faux pas, but it's like spelled F-A-U-X.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, that's so stupid.
I used the word faux in last week's episode. Did
Faux?
you? Huh?
I probably read it as fox.
See, I like the word faux because I have a faux fur jacket.
What happened to Naruto?
You tried to come up with a joke, and you couldn't. So
No,
you
okay, because the joke was what happened was I said faux, and my first thing he says, "Faux fuck you, Morgan." I can't say that.
Yeah.
You can.
I can, but
You did.
but that's asking for like you to attack me back.
Yeah.
Is that not what we do?
Well, no, we do that, but I'm just not emotionally ready for attack right now. You know.
Oh,
Got
I
it.
see.
Yeah.
Let me
So
know
you're
when you're
waiting?
prepared, and I'll write down
And then
my.
I just had a little
snarky
starburst on my-
comeback.
You'll say faux fur again, so you'll set him up again, and then you guys will be ready for a little back and forth. Yeah, I see. That's good.
What else is good?
The third Hokage reminding the kids that no matter what path they decide to take in life, they must always protect what is precious to them. The kids...
Truth to power.
It goes around.
Truth to
Yeah, that's right. He is
power.
speaking truth to power right now. Well,
Yeah.
he is the power, actually.
He is the soul power.
Yeah. Ugh, that's probably not great.
Well,
The kids consider those they love. Some kids are like, I love my mom and my dog.
this was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
We start naming characters like we know them.
I know.
Who the fuck is it? I don't
love
know.
my older brother, and we're like, the only older brother we know is Sasuke. So
Yeah.
we don't love him.
Yeah.
This entire scene had such like Order 66 like atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like I thought at some point these kids are just gonna explode. Like just fucking get.
When is Orochimaru gonna pop out of one of their skin?
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Like just their jaw unhinges and he just rips apart. He's like, I was a kid all along, and he just leaves because he just thought it'd be funny to do that.
He does just like to fuck with people. One of the kids asks the third who's precious to him. And first he points to his grandson, Konohamaru, and Konohamaru's like, yeah, bet, that's cool.
But like, imagine being that kid. Like,
I know, it's like
did
being Malia.
Did you ever know the kid in elementary school or middle school that like their mom or dad was a teacher.
Oh yeah,
I
it
was
is like
that
that.
It's like that, and then like.
Oh fuck you! You with your little lemonade mouth plateau ass life.
Thank you.
Why do you like Lemonade Mouth so much? I don't get
Lemonade
it.
Mouth is good.
I love
What is
Lemonade
Lemonade Mouth
Mouth.
about? Can you guys tell me?
Lemonade.
A band that forms because they banned the lemonade machine at their school.
Oh my god.
Kinda.
That sounds like such a your town thing.
That sounds like such.
Okay, but it's like
Katie's
the
thing.
best lemonade, and like it comes in a really cool can that's like clear.
I'm confused.
But that makes
Really
sense.
good
Okay,
band.
so my favorite Disney Channel original movie is Minutemen. But what does that say for me?
Ooh.
You know? What does that
Good
mean?
fucking movie though.
What's Minutemen?
Okay, look,
You've
I'm in
never
love
seen
with Jason
Minutemen?
Dolly. I've always been in love with Jason
Me
Dolly.
too.
Right?
What's Minutemen about?
So
Minutemen.
It's basically, well, yeah.
Wait, like the guys that
What?
fought in the Revolutionary War?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually a documentary.
actually-
I'm just so sick of these British. It makes me want to start a band.
Basically, it's Jason Dolly and friends.
Yeah.
And,
Jason Dolly, that one kid, and
British
the
are
tall
coming
one,
for your
the tall
heart.
one from.
that one tall thing you played. And the cat. And there's a cat. And they
There
have
is a cat.
a time machine. And they go back. And then they go forward.
Is this true?
Yeah.
You're dead ass. It's a time machine movie.
Yeah.
No,
What the fuck?
it's literally.
The only Disney Channel original movies I've ever seen are Camp Rock 2. And
Not even Camp Rock 1?
No.
Come on! What
I've
are you
seen-
doing?
I've seen the majority of the Disney Channel original
And,
movies because I didn't have friends.
I've seen The Wizards of Waverly Place.
Have you seen Twitches?
Movie. Twitches?
Yeah.
Twitches is so fucking
Sounds
Twin
like
good.
Witches.
Sounds like a ball.
What about Twitches 2?
Twitches?
Twitches 2?
Am I hearing this right?
Yes.
Wait, is this about?
They're about twin witches.
Twin witches.
Jesus Christ.
Two bitches.
Wow.
Two
Two
bitches.
bitches. Good.
Would
that
it be-
was good.
To
It would be,
Vivin.
yeah, it would be
to Vivitches?
bitches.
There's a video game actually called it's like 7 Vs.
Oh yeah, I know that game. It's really
such
fun.
a good
actually.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up with you, Katie? Any Disney Channel original movies you like?
Besides
I
Lemonade Mouth, can you
live
grow
under a
up?
rock.
Yeah.
Can't
why
live
don't
in the
you- why don't
21st
you-
fucking century.
Why don't you get off your high ass little plateau? And,
You know all the-
Oh my
Oh,
god,
facts.
she didn't live under a rock, she lived under a plateau.
I did. That's why I haven't showed it to you because you get mad. I haven't showed you the rock I lived
You
under because
didn't-
it's a plateau.
I
and
did
you
make
get
a
mad at me
comment
for
to
saying
Katie today
plateau.
about dinner.
Did you just make a callback to something that didn't happen
Yeah,
on
I
air?
didn't really realize that it didn't happen on air because it
Because
happened
now
right
the
before
only thing
air.
is now we have to explain it. Morgan,
Yeah.
It's quick. I think I had taught Katie what Arbor Day was,
Uh-huh.
or she didn't know what it was, or something had happened
Yeah.
where she didn't know something that is just kind of a thing that people know. And I looked at her and I said, "So, when are you going to show me the rock that you grew up underneath?"
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. So it was a plateau.
It was a plateau.
Ah.
And I knew she'd yell at me if I said plateau, so I didn't show her my plateau.
Right. No, I understood that part.
Okay.
All right. Now, after the third Hokage points out Konohamaru in the crowd, which is really cool for him, then he's like, you know what? All of the villagers are precious.
And the villages.
And well, just this one that I'm in charge of.
But all of them.
But all of this one and all of the people in it are precious to me too. So that's good. That's fun. In the ravine, Naruto approaches the ground with increasing speed, and the weight of his own mortality starts to set in. He's like, I'm gonna die, and then it like, doesn't it echo or something?
Yeah, he goes die.
Yeah.
Die.
And then suddenly, he's in this like weird long hallway. The floor is covered with shallow water. There's all these turns off from the hallway. And out of one of them,
Spooky.
there's this low grumbling snarl, right?
Rar,
Yeah.
rar,
Naruto.
XD.
Yeah, exactly. Naruto follows the snarling down the hallway, and he's like, I sense that red chakra again. At the end of the passageway, Naruto faces a massive steel gate with a ceiling tag in its center. A gigantic, monstrous face appears behind the bars, beckoning Naruto closer. When Naruto complies, the beast slashes between the bars, narrowly missing Naruto with its massive claws. It considers how wonderful it would be to devour Naruto, damning the seal holding him behind the gate.
Just a lot more Jiraiya, a lot more terrifying. Like, he's creepy.
Oh yeah, you're saying Jiraiya's scarier than...
No, this guy is equally as creepy as Jiraiya,
Yeah.
except this guy actually is terrifying.
Yeah.
Jiraiya is just a
pervert.
creepy
Yeah.
pervert.
Yeah.
Although the Ninetales did say "come closer, little boy," which I thought was
Classic.
weird.
That does sound like a Jiraiya line.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so this is the Ninetales. This is the first we've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is big, guys. This is
Yeah.
like a whole ass thing. And Naruto recognizes it, and he's
Which
like...
is weird. That's weird.
That he doesn't...
Recognizes the Ninetales.
Yeah.
No one's supposed to tell him that. Like, how does he know about that?
Fucking, what's his name? Mizuki, episode 1. He was like,
Oh
by the way,
my
the Nine Tails is inside you, and Naruto's like,
Oh, what? He's like, huh?
yeah.
I'm sorry, can you make that noise again?
But Naruto never like pieced together. Remember that the red chakra was the Nine Tails. So finally, he's like, "Oh shit! It was you. You're the red chakra.
You all along?
I get it." Though the fox tries to intimidate Naruto's not scared, and he's like, "Yo, bitch, give me some chakra for rent." You've been
living in my head rent free, baby.
Yeah. Considering that if Naruto dies, he would die too, the Nine Tails sends chakra under the gate, and it engulfs Naruto, fused with the water at his feet. Naruto comes to back in the real world, and rocketing down towards his imminent demise, he unleashes the summoning jutsu mid-air in a final desperate bid for survival. Now drawing upon the Nine Tails' power, Naruto commands forth a toad so massive that it takes up the entire canyon, stopping Naruto's fall before demanding to know where he is. And that's the end of episode 56. It just catches himself. Yeah, he's got this big like pipe in his mouth, the toad. It's the same toad that we saw the fourth Hokage ride in his battle against the Nine Tails.
Did we see that?
Yes, it's
in the flashback.
I think we saw flashbacks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I meant like, did we see it?
Yeah, we
I
saw it.
remember.
It's at the very beginning of the first episode. Actually, we see the toad, and it's this guy. It's this guy.
He's smoking. That's his
He has
pipe.
so many tongue piercings.
He does have a lot of tongue. Oh my god, what the hell color is your tongue?
Probably coffee colored.
Jesus Christ.
It gets that.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's horrifying. Katie,
disgusting.
you gotta stop drinking so much cacaffeine.
Yep.
Katie,
That's why coffee breath is a thing. Because
She
coffee
said,
does that to your
yep.
tongue.
Have you considered rehab?
Is that a thing?
this podcast is just a front for an
we
intervention.
went through a phase where like I like do not crazy things, but like I
You
go
just put yourself in rehab? Just like in and
Just
out?
one of those crazy things.
It's always such a Syracuse like phase. Like, oh, you mean the boys were in and out of rehab that whole summer? Summer 16 was crazy.
Yeah, dude, we were sounding up in that shit.
But he's in rehab for sounding so much.
What were you gonna say about
But
this
yeah,
crazy
so
thing?
I like go vegetarian or like I do random lame shit. But at one point, I think it was this year, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go vegetarian and I'm gonna also do this. And Katie was like, I want to do that. I'll stop drinking caffeine and I'll eat healthier.
Yeah. I didn't do the caffeine part because I work at Starbucks,
Yeah.
and so I just constantly get coffee all the time.
It was like 2 days in and I was like, how are you doing? And she was like, well, I had only one matcha yesterday. And I was like, okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But also, Katie, I've known you for like a year and a half now, and you've eaten the exact same thing at our dining hall. Did that change at all?
No. I
Okay.
just eat less now. Which isn't better.
Less a resolution and more nothing.
Yep.
I see.
More I just got busier and so I lied to myself
Yeah.
that I was making
Hey,
a food
lying to
choice.
yourself is how I get through the day. You know? Anyways, episode 57, Naruto crashes into the head of the massive toad and runs down its back to check if it has a tail. This is cute.
This is nice.
Yeah, when he realizes it doesn't, he leaps up in celebration of successfully performing the summoning jutsu. The toad knocks Naruto onto his nose so that he can, like, look him, eye to eye.
It's crazy. He went from just like a little froglet to like this big
Yeah,
motherfucker.
there's
Yeah.
Naruto really does not do half measures.
Yeah,
at
it
all.
does not.
Yeah, the giant toad scolds Naruto for taking him lightly, introducing himself as the wise and powerful Gamabunta.
I love the name so much.
Dude,
Gamabunta.
that is the most badass toad
Yeah.
name I've ever fucking heard.
His voice actor is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so fucking funny. He's got like a smoker's growl
Yeah.
from that pipe he's always carrying around.
Dude, that much. Imagine his plug. Mad money.
Oh yeah.
Like insane.
Gosh.
But
Yeah.
You should get a pipe.
I have a pipe.
Oh
Like-
yeah.
like
No,
a-
Raj
like
is
a-
a beautiful pipe.
I do have a pipe.
Like
Yeah.
a pipe?
Yeah,
Hi.
his
Fuck yeah.
My friends went to China and they brought me one.
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gorgeous too. Can you smoke weed out of a pipe?
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
we,
I mean,
we've
it's
done
just
it.
a bowl.
Yeah,
ultimately.
we try to do it.
Yeah.
The problem is that the pipe, the hole, it goes deep, so you have to put a lot of weed, and we don't want to waste a lot of weed on a stupid joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not a fan of that.
Yeah, that's fair.
My dad's best friend was a police officer and had a lot of I know. He had
That's yeah.
he had beautiful police dogs, and his one of them that he had for like his whole career passed away, and he got a pipe with his head carved on it.
Wow,
And it
that's
is the
insane.
sickest shit.
Yeah.
Katie just had a little seizure. It is the
That'll be
sickest
the
shit.
caffeine. That'll be what was the name of that Disney movie? The Twitching? The Twitches?
Twitches. That'll be the
Motherfucking
Twitches.
Katie's a motherfucking Twitch over here.
Maybe it might be the. Have you ever? Does it stop if you
That's
don't
what
drink
I've been
caffeine?
saying the entire time I've known Katie. Is that she twitches
know who you
because of
said
the
it to.
caffeine.
Okay, it's probably
Yeah,
good.
you've said it to me before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you tried this water only shit I'm on? You
For
should.
real.
No, I haven't.
Man.
But the only thing that's not water that I drink is coffee, so that would just be being caffeine.
Okay, but
free.
it's not like you just drink like black coffee. Like you drink
No, I have it with
toasted
all the
white
sugar.
bullshit and matcha
Yeah.
and
Water
And
only,
all the espresso.
water only might be for you.
Yeah, kid, you do it.
You know?
I was in the place you were in a few years ago.
It's true.
2 years
He was,
ago,
yeah.
actually.
He used to
Yeah.
pee brand.
If you're
Actually,
Yeah, I
No.
peed Pepsi.
I was gonna say I feel like I could. I feel like I could do water and tea, and then I was like, as if
Yeah,
that would
that'll
be
be- that'll be the
easy.
caffeine.
But that one is caffeine,
Okay.
and then two would not be.
but also
because,
I
you know,
drink so
withdrawal.
much tea and it's all herbal tea and doesn't have any
Yeah.
caffeine in it.
Yeah, there's tea without caffeine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dee-da-dee-da.
Yeah.
Words are a thing. Anyway.
Wow,
Yeah.
back to back is
Wise
hard.
and powerful
Yeah.
Gamabunta. He swings Naruto around, demanding that Jiraiya reveal himself. But Jiraiya takes cover above, hiding from the troublesome Toad. Basically, Gamabunta asks Naruto where Jiraiya is, and Naruto's like, no, I summoned you.
I just love the fact that this Toad's like, this piece of shit.
Yeah.
Jiraiya, where are you?
Yeah, because he's like, surely this motherfucker didn't summon me. Eventually,
Just like, he's like, I just got fresh air.
Yeah.
And there's this kid on me.
yeah.
I just love everything he
This
says.
fucking cliff. Yeah, I
It's
like
like that dude.
Gamabunta a lot.
Who's that one mobster character on TV who goes Gabool?
Gabagoo. I don't know. It's just mobsters.
I think from like
Gabagool.
Sopranos. Like, is that it?
Yeah, probably.
Gabagool.
Is that
what?
What? Gabagool.
That's a cold cut.
No, that's.
Yeah, but that's what mobsters
That's
eat.
lunch meat.
Yeah, it is actually. It is actually
Is
lunch
it?
meat. I found that out too. Yeah, but that's because mobsters they just run down to the they don't run.
What I'm saying is, if you got this guy as a mobster, he would just be so funny.
Yeah, he would be a
Yeah.
good mobster
Little
voice
Tommy
actor.
gun in his hand going,
Oh, yeah,
where's Jiraiya?
Where's Jiraiya? Give me some of this gabagool.
Yo, I was
Gabagool.
actually reminding you of that voice. I was watching Law and Order for You, and they were interrogating these just Guido guys,
Yeah.
and one of them calls Stabler Jamook. He says it.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he's like, you're Jamook, and it's like, oh my god.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So people really
For
say
those
that.
who are listening and are confused as to what gabagool is,
Yeah.
if you've ever heard the word capicola,
See, that's what I thought it was.
it's not.
Capicola.
It's
not.
gabagool.
What's capicola?
The
I don't
same
know
thing.
any of these
Ah.
words.
Okay, because that's what I thought you were talking about.
Capicola sounds like it would be like, what do Australians call koalas? And if it wasn't draw bears, it would be
It's a
capicola.
capicola.
Oh, I gotta watch out for those capicolas.
Oh my
No,
god,
like,
it's a combination
that does
between a
sound
koala
good.
and a capybara.
That's what I was.
Oh, I was
Oh,
thinking more so
yeah.
like a mascot for a cola company.
Capicola.
Capi-
Yeah.
Capicola.
Oh my god, that would be a great
Oh
mascot.
my god,
Two
and the
kids.
mascot is a koala bear and a
And a
capybara.
capybara.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And its tongue is like black from all the caffeine in the soda it drinks. Like,
Oh wait, actually, it could just
Put
be
your
like a
tongue in your
koala
mouth.
and a capybara
so
like together and be
gross.
like, cola's so good, it brought these two animals together.
yeah,
And then they have
cola's so good it can.
Australia, hit us up.
Morgan, they didn't have sex. They made love. Come on.
Don't
This is-
use my words against me.
Right, so Naruto tells Gamabunta that Jiraiya is on the cliff above and asks what the Chief Toad wants with Pervy Sage. Gamabunta counters, he's like, I want to ask him why he summoned me to a place like this. But Naruto reveals that he was the one who summoned Gamabunta, which causes the massive toad to erupt in laughter, certain that Naruto couldn't have the power to summon him forth.
Which, important note.
Yeah.
Oh, I did it again.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Which,
No, that's perfect. I'm telling you, I use that as an editing marker.
he says, what do you want with Pervy Sage?
Mm-hmm.
And then Chief Toad Dude,
Recognizes that he's talking about
he's
Jiraiya.
like, oh, well, I want to know why that pervert summoned me. And I was like, so everybody knows he's a
yeah,
pervert?
I think it's a like a
Yeah,
widely known
no, I
thing.
mean,
Yeah.
Oh my
to be
gosh.
fair, if you're a writer of a popular like
Yeah,
Porn series,
porn
yeah.
series,
that's true.
But I don't think that makes you a pervert.
I mean that's not.
Because
don't-
I think like
yeah.
there's no shame in like porn and writing porn and
Yeah.
making porn
Yeah,
and being
yeah.
in porn and
Yeah,
being
not
a
to
sex worker.
generalize,
Right.
but he's someone who's actively pretty. He brags about his in-depth research.
It's
But, like-
yeah. Well, and that's exactly
And
what
that's
Morgan's
the
saying.
thing. It's
Yeah.
like I could like you could do research, you could do sex studies and
Yeah.
like do stuff like that. You could do research in a completely
Sex
healthy,
studies.
non-pervy
Yeah.
way. But there's just the fact that everybody's like, oh yeah, no, he sits outside of like girls'
Yeah.
bathhouses and,
And
watches
even this
them.
giant.
We,
fucking toad
we've
does
established
it.
that he was caught jerking off on a toad the first time we met him.
That's true. Yeah.
This is
that's
true.
That's
That's
probably
why
how
the
he knows.
toads know,
Gabagool.
yeah, he went to go.
Gamabunta's like, oh, what's on my head right now?
She's like, oh god,
Yeah.
not again.
Tell me it's
The
raining.
toads are all gossiping
Ew,
about it.
Stop.
Thank you.
Moisturizer,
Yeah.
really good for your skin.
Are you talking about jizz right now?
Yeah, actually, really good for your
Oh
skin.
my god. Jesus. Naruto demands a bit of respect, proud of himself for drawing Gamabunta forth, but the toad won't hear it. He throws Naruto onto his back with his tongue and leaps out of the ravine, landing so hard that it sends out a massive shockwave. Gamabunta tells Naruto that even if he was able to summon him, he would never recognize him as his master if he fell off his back so easily. Because when Gamabunta jumped out, Naruto fell off the back, obviously. Yeah. And then Gamabunta turns to walk away. He's like, oh, I haven't been summoned in so long, I could use a walk with some fresh air. Naruto runs up Gamabunta and faces him on his nose, again, declaring his intention to stay on Gamabunta's back all day and force him to recognize Naruto as master.
Which is so funny.
That's a good way to be like comedic and cartoony.
Yeah.
You know.
Aside from like compared to like farting in some dude's face. Like that's not funny.
Or chasing around and sexually assaulting women.
Yeah, that's not funny at all. That's not a joke.
But
that's serious.
It's like the pettiest shit. He's like, see, you said that, but I think I'm going to stay on your back for the whole day just to prove you wrong.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Like, that is middle school in a sentence.
Yeah. I mean, Naruto's put weeks into this. Yeah. You know, this is a point of pride for him. Gamabunta agrees to this little deal, but he refuses to hold back, immediately whipping his head all over the place and running violently through the trees to try and throw Naruto away. Jiraiya watches from a great distance, but is too distracted by bikini-clad ladies to help his student. Back in the village, the boys of Team 10 once again go out for barbecue, and Kankuro and Tamari observe them. Tamari is concerned that because they don't know where Gaara is, but Kankuro's like, nah, not even that motherfucker would try something in broad daylight. Kankuro encourages Tamari to formulate a strategy for her fight against Shikamaru, but she's sure that she won't lose against someone like that. Then Kankuro is like, man, it sucks that you didn't try and become a Chunin last year, because this year it's not gonna happen because of what we're planning. And then they flash back to Baki filling them in on their mission.
Ooh.
Yeah, and we get so much political exposition here. It's kind of amazing. I don't even know if this stuff is in the manga. Like, they really think through why the Sand Village is doing this. Baki explained that the Treaty of Alliance forced military budget cuts on the Sand Village, forcing them to... They reduced the size of their shinobi force, but strengthened the individual shinobis, leading to the creation of, like, people like Gaara, you know?
Yeah, which was interesting creation of people like Gaara.
Yeah, it raises even more questions.
All the while Gaara was, like, angsty and standing against the wall and being that bitch. And,
Well, look, if you really break down the pros and cons of a super soldier, pro, really strong.
Yeah.
Con, little emo.
Little angsty boy.
Little angsty.
But it does raise the question, like, what did Gaara turn into in the last episode?
Yeah.
Or last week's episodes.
What?
And that's the scariest thing of all.
Oh
if you're in the Midwest, obviously.
Or upstate New York.
Or if you live in a home.
Very true. Wait, or what?
Or if you live in a home.
Oh, yeah. What home?
Homophobia.
Home. Oh, I understand. Okay. I was too...
Raj?
Yeah.
Your name's not Raj.
Multiple surprises today.
I was just encouraging you. You said Raj, and I was saying...
Raj? Yep.
Yeah, speak to Raj.
That, I think, was the funniest thing you've ever said.
Once again,
appreciated there. But don't even worry.
I did laugh. I did actually laugh
too.
When I said that to Liam before, I don't think I actually thought it was funny.
Fuck you.
I was just encouraging you. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Let's just keep going.
I didn't know which was Tenten and which was Tamari until this moment.
Fair enough.
I still don't know. Liam just says names.
I
don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Just context, yeah.
I think I talked about a time that I looked like Tenten with an outfit and then told both of you that I looked like Tenten with an outfit, and I was talking about Tamari the whole time and nobody corrected me.
Well, we didn't know you were
we don't.
Oh, well, no, but I have like a sweater that's like, the top is fishnet and like the rest of it's not.
Katie, for all
So,
I know,
like,
you can
I
cosplay
was
the
like,
Starbucks
oh,
logo.
look, I'm
I
like
don't.
Tenten today, and you guys were like, yep, and I'm like,
But you didn't say
realize
today. You were
until
like,
just
oh,
now.
the other day I looked just like Tenten, and we were like, all right,
Cool.
I
see you at
guess.
Spaceballs.
Okay.
Katie's talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, Katie, what you just said was really funny.
I think
Y'all are so mean.
This one, we didn't talk about this in the Anime NYC
that
podcast.
might be the funniest thing you've ever said.
What?
That's just.
I will
No,
quit
no,
the
we didn't-
podcast
we didn't-
right now.
Got it.
We didn't talk about this during the Anime NYC podcast, but going to Anime NYC, there's a moment where me, Liam, and Katie were sitting on the train all together, and me and Liam just have a conversation about like just the podcast, I think, but it was without the acknowledgement of Katie's existence in that moment.
No, they were talking about like the way, like, things that happen in the future of Naruto, and like, but like, not really specific enough where I could have got caught on anything, but they were like talking about, they're like, oh well, when Morgan and Katie are around, like whatever, like as if I wasn't there, and I was just kind of like, well, that was interesting.
Because
I just got a
Raj
sneak
and I
peek
were
of
on
when I'm
company
not
time.
around.
Yeah, we're on company time.
Katie was just going to a field trip. you know?
Yeah, I had something else to do around
Yeah.
there, and so I don't know, it was really, I was just kind of like, oh, all right, well, that was weird, because I am right here and could have heard any of the things you were saying that
When you're
were
on company time,
spoilers.
Katie,
Yeah, exactly.
you're not around.
Still, we're going back to the outline now.
Yes.
For those listening who sometimes are like, why don't they do better transitions? We've been working on that so much, by the way. Yeah. Still, Baki claimed, the feudal lord of the land of wind, because the outside lands are ruled by feudal lords, but the villages are just their military leader is the Hokage. So the feudal lord of the land of wind, he didn't see how dangerous it was to reduce the shinobi force in the Sand Village, forcing the Kazekage to ally with the Sound Village to demonstrate the importance of having a military force for unforeseen crises by attacking the Leaf. That's a crazy complex political strategy, you know? Attack another village with your military to show that it's important to have a military so that you don't lose the funding for your village, which is military. That's a lot, you know?
Yeah.
For a kid's show on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Baki noted that the mission relied entirely on Gaara, and that it would certainly lead to war, which, and I talked about this a little bit last week, but it deeply disconcerts Temari. It almost seems as if whatever that last great ninja war that Kakashi was talking about last week, Temari might have been alive to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is...
Now, how much older is Temari?
I don't know, like maybe...
Like 2 or 3.
Yeah, maximum 4 years, probably 2 to 4 years older than...
So she's probably like 16?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 15 or 16, I would say. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, like, if there was a war within the 13 years that...
She might be conscious enough to see it.
Exactly, yeah. And
Yeah.
even, I mean, like, 5-year-olds in this world, like, Konohamaru is like 5 or 6.
Yeah, no.
So she could have been fucking drafted. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, by shinobi standards. You know what I mean?
Straight up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like-
when you're 5, you can kill people.
Konohamaru can already
Whoa.
do sexy jutsu, and he's, like, 6 or
Oh,
7.
yeah.
And he's an idiot. So, like...
Yeah, no, he's dumb.
Yeah. It's a lot, right?
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, fucking Naruto is a full-time warrior, and he's 13.
He's 13.
Yeah. This...
No, this is insane.
And
Sorry,
was a
it's just hitting
full-time
me.
warrior at 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine that the life expectancy in this world is, like, maybe 30 tops.
Yeah, the fact that a 12-year-old fought Zabuza.
Yeah,
kind
exactly.
Of absurd.
And Zabuza was probably in his 20s.
Yeah.
And Haku was 13 or
Literally
14.
13, yeah. Zabuza killed everyone as a kid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Dude, people are
also,
just kids killing each other.
The prelims,
Uh-huh.
like, even though they aren't something that regularly happens for the Chunin exams,
Yeah.
they literally were told, you're fighting to kill.
Yeah. And the finals are probably going to be no different based on what we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? So, and those are the ones that everyone's coming to, even the fucking feudal lords. So,
Yeah.
just really nobody cares. Gamabunta continues to wrestle with Naruto, leaping high into the air, then submerging himself deep underwater so forcefully and rapidly that he creates rainbows.
Ooh, pretty.
Yes. Baki, back in the Sand Village, reports back to the Kazekage, delivering Kabuto's scroll to the mysterious leader. Baki requests reinforcements be sent to the border of the Land of Wind under the guise of, like, training exercises, but the Kazekage denies him the aid, certain that it would raise the Leaf Village's suspicion. And it probably would, because if we remember in the last episode, the Leaf Village has Anbu everywhere. So if they did that, they, like, literally would pick up on it. But what Baki reveals here is that it's literally just him and the Sand Siblings, and whatever support the Sound Village supplies, against the entire Leaf Village.
To be fair,
Yeah.
those 4 people.
Yeah, we don't even know what Gaara's capable
Yeah.
of, but he stomped Dosu.
So,
Yeah.
he crushed him.
Yeah, literally
Yeah.
crushed
Fucking
him.
crushed
Yeah.
Dosu.
And then
So-
nobody talked about it.
That's
So,
true.
like, what's the
Yeah.
point?
Sometimes.
Having, like, a million
Yeah.
useless, like, ass soldiers? Or just like, 4
Yeah.
Well,
straight up war criminals?
so the 2 of them, it was Kabuto and the other guy.
Yeah, Baki.
They watched.
killed
Gaara do
Dosu.
it?
Yeah.
What if they covered it up?
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, that's actually an excellent point. I imagine they probably just...
Because I didn't think. What if they just like?
Maybe that's why they haven't announced the change in the bracket yet, because
Yeah.
they don't even know that Dosu's dead.
Oh.
Because for all they know, he probably just went back to the Sound Village during the month.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or if anything, Kabuto's probably doing, like, a puppet show with him.
Yeah.
He's, like, dead, what is it, dead soul jutsu?
Dead Soul Jutsu,
And he's
yeah.
just, like...
So maybe he
Yeah.
is. Literally, maybe he won't even be withdrawn from the final.
Maybe
And he'll
Kabuto
just
will
be-
fight for him.
Yeah, with, like, that Dead Soul Jutsu thing.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah.
Okay, See, I'm saying all these things and getting excited, and then I remember that these two know.
No,
Yeah.
actually, this is a huge gap. I don't know.
This one knows.
Yeah, but I'm pretty good at pretending, right?
I'm so pretending too. Totally.
No, I'm pretending too. I just don't want Katie to know. I already watched all the episodes ever.
Yeah.
So.
We're still pretending. I'm totally like uncircumcised. Like so uncircumcised. It's crazy.
What?
We're just pretending.
What do you think we're talking about?
Just things, saying things off our chest,
Wait,
but
that's
like
not
pretending.
A thing, that's not a thing that you can pretend about, is it?
Being uncircumcised?
Yeah.
You can like pull the skin down a little bit.
Like a turtle.
So you know where I'm coming from? That's not a thing that you can pretend about, is it?
About your penis?
Yeah.
Well, if my skin's up, they're not gonna know where I'm coming from. It's gonna be covered. It's
Hey.
What?
Do you
I
know
know
how
it.
uncircumcised penises work?
Actually, I don't
Look,
either.
I haven't seen a penis.
Yeah.
I haven't seen my own. I don't look down.
actually-
I look up constantly. How many ceilings do you notice, Morgan?
All of them, actually.
I
I'm quite
don't.
tall.
You know, I
I don't
think.
know.
But you just said I
Ceilings
only look up, so you should know all of the ceilings, Raj.
I do too.
Continuity.
At some point, I realized I look up. I never. There's too few ceilings. You know. I never look at them.
Are you saying there should be ceilings outside, or that you don't look at enough ceilings
Wouldn't a
both?
ceiling outside just be a...
inside?
Yeah.
But there's no walls. There's just ceilings.
Yeah.
Kind of like in old Spider-Man games, how he would just like swing on
nothing.
literally nothing.
Yeah.
I wish we had Spider-Man.
Does he do
physics.
that in the new ones too?
No, I don't think so.
think I'm having a stroke.
You always say that. What if somebody's listening and they have a stroke and they're like, "Oh gosh, this wasn't at all what I was expecting. I was expecting NaruTalk."
What?
You know, because like you keep saying, "I think I'm having a stroke," and they're like, "Oh, a stroke is gonna sound like NaruTalk," and then they have a stroke and they're like, "Well, this isn't at all what I built it up to be."
Imagine that's what their thought is when they're having a
If
stroke on the
they're-
ground,
If they
seizing up.
listen to us and hear me say, I think I'm having a stroke, I think I just had a stroke, and then they have a stroke and they're like, oh man, I thought it was going to be like Naruto.
Yeah.
That's just natural selection
That's
at that
crazy.
point.
I always get like lightheaded or like my brain feels
Before
flooded.
you have a stroke?
No, just like in general, and I'm always like, oh shit, like I'm always scared that I'm having a brain aneurysm. That's like my 6th biggest fear, I have to say.
Brain aneurysm.
Below
dude.
sounding?
Dude.
No,
yeah.
I just think constantly something's gonna happen in my brain. It's
Right?
gonna go, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's dinosaurs appearing, teenagers sounding.
Sounding.
I
The
don't know.
fish?
The fish that goes up your
Oh,
urethra.
toothless fish, yeah.
A lot of urethra-based fears, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm just afraid of death.
I'm not even that
Pussy.
scared of death. I'm not even like
Less scared of like dying,
Mhm.
more scared of after,
Yeah.
and the thought of nothing.
Yeah.
You and I have had this conversation.
It's this whole thing,
before,
like your body stops you from imagining nothing.
because it can't comprehend.
Yeah,
it.
you know
Because
that thing where like if you think about death for too long, you get that like sickening feeling in your stomach.
Yeah, I get a boner, but yeah, I
I
can imagine.
No, but like it also happens sometimes if you think about infinity, like how space is infinite.
Oh, dude, yeah, I don't want
but
to think
it's
about that.
also expanding.
Yeah.
And that's because I swear to God, this is true. Because your body puts a biological stop on you thinking about that stuff.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Because even if you're like, I'm going to think about nothing,
you can't. It's always
there's
something.
going on because the neurons are still firing and it's still
Yeah.
happening. And even when you're sleeping, there's still stuff going on in your brain.
Yeah.
So your brain literally cannot comprehend there being nothing.
Yeah.
And it can't comprehend that there being something beyond what it knows.
And that's just it when you die, you know? It's like before you were born. This is just what you get.
No, I like to think we become butterflies.
That's nice, but then what happens when the butterfly dies?
Oh, then
That
you become a
becomes-
caterpillar?
Yeah, just like reincarnation.
Interesting.
Well, it's backwards.
I want to
And that's why I think I mentioned it in last week's episode, but
Yeah.
I want to know everything that I can know about every religion ever,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm such a person that's based in belief and hope and faith and all these things, because the idea of there being nothing fucking terrifies me like nothing
Yeah.
else.
Yeah. No, I use reincarnation as a coping mechanism.
Yeah, no, that's
that's what I
fair.
do.
But I always weirdly, I always feel like all of these like after death things are almost pessimistic, you know? Like if this is it, and after death it's just like before you were born,
Yeah.
right? Then why are we devoting so much time to like religion and organized coping
Yeah.
And a
mechanisms?
Naruto
That's what-
podcast.
yeah.
Well, this
that's
is exactly
literally
why we're
the
doing a Naruto
reason I'm
podcast. It's like
religious.
this is it, you know? So let's talk about something that's fun. You know?
No, it's fun?
What happens next?
What happens next?
Yeah, but-
what does happen next?
The sun begins to set.
Ah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And Naruto, way past his limit and completely out of chakra, struggles as he obstinately continues to cling to Gamabunta. Gamabunta asks for Naruto's name, declaring his intention to finish the challenge, and admitting that Naruto might die.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll do anything to get this motherfucker off. Not sexually. Gamabunta...
Oh my.
Gamabunta leaps all the way over to where Jiraiya was hiding out, landing in the basin where the women usually hang out, but they've gone home for the night. Back to the hotel. Naruto almost falls off, but manages to somehow draw on even more chakra to hold himself out by creating a chain of shadow clones. When Naruto manages to swing himself back onto Gamabunta's head, he does a little dance around, laughing and celebrating his victory, but quickly collapses from exhaustion. Jiraiya panics because Naruto starts to fall off Gamabunta's head, and falling from such a height while unconscious would surely kill him.
And also, like, head first.
Yeah, exactly,
Which
yeah.
I was, like, watching this and I was like, oh my god, he's falling head first.
He would have died, but Gamabunta saves him, extending his tongue and stopping his fall at the last minute. These folks just do things with their tongues, you know, it's just how it goes. Gamabunta rests Naruto on his back, and Jiraiya, from off screen, tosses the contract scroll in front of the toad, revealing that Naruto did, in fact, summon Gamabunta. But Gamabunta already knew this, because the rambunctious child had ultimately proved himself a worthy partner, and Gamabunta's like, I haven't experienced anything like this since the 4th Hokage summoned me. Yeah.
What a wise frog.
I know! This, I really quite like Gamabunta.
I wish show was called Gamabunta.
Oh my god. That's our plans for after NaruTalk.
Is to, make a show about Gamabunta? What is he doing when he's not summoned? Just jumping around, getting his tongue pierced?
Me.
Gamabunta travels into the village, arriving at and departing from the hospital in one massive leap before the nurses and doctors inside can even see him. But he leaves Naruto behind, resting right by his giant frog footprint. And that's the end of the episode, is Naruto resting outside the hospital, about to be carried in, obviously, by the giant footprint. And that's 57. That's 57. That's it. That's what we watched this week. So, what do we think?
What do I think? I don't know.
Is that it?
I wish. I don't know what that sound was.
Sounded like a
it was me
pterodactyl?
trying to clear my throat, but also Liam looking at me. So, these episodes are, like, okay.
It's a weird little mini arc that we're in, I guess, from last week to this week.
The politics was cool. I kind of like.
It was neat.
It's one of those, like, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I get why they're doing it, and it kind of paints, like, the Leaf Village in kind of a shit light. But also, Gaara is, like, pretty evil.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of hard to...
But I feel like Baki isn't evil. The dude with the thing...
No, yeah, Baki's just... Well...
He's just doing his best. He's just getting ordered around by the Kazekage.
Hayate.
That's true, but they are all warriors all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think
I just wish
evil,
you know? Dude, why not even, like, in honor... I just don't get the director's choice here, just not even, like, having Baki hold Hayate in his arms and go... Any last words?
I'm sorry. Well, we don't know. It
just
cut away.
Coughs, and then I just want to hear a cough or something.
I want to hear
but, like, explain
Give
it,
him
bro.
one last cigarette.
What is the gimmick? What was the point?
It's actually, at the end of the series, they do you haven't seen it yet, because it's a surprise. They do an after credit little short.
I like how the normie's telling me that.
I know.
I've been keeping it from you. I found out about it recently.
In your foreskin, because you're uncircumcised?
Yes.
It was inside.
Do you think that people... So the reason that you want to be uncircumcised is because you think that inside of foreskin, people are hiding all sorts of secrets?
There's just information, secrets,
it's
surprises.
because it would open up a new world of handshakes, because I've been trying to figure out this handshake versus
So you
hug
think
debate.
that you want to just
pull
dock
back
with
your
people?
foreskin.
Instead of dap me up, it's dock me up.
Dog me up, bro. It's winter, bro. You can come closer. You know, it's one of those things, you know? Just want to get closer to people.
Morgan, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
I don't even know.
Katie, what about you? Do you have any thoughts on these episodes?
I enjoyed them.
Any thoughts on docking, by the way?
Yeah. These episodes were docking. What else?
Can't... I can't picture it because
I
I don't have a penis.
I just can't.
I thought 56. What the fuck was 56? What happened in 56? They trained a little bit, and I don't know. I thought it was weirdly beautiful. When he took... What the fuck? Oh, yeah, when he taught the history lesson. I was trying to remember what happened in that.
There is this scene when Naruto passes out, and you it's like right in front of the water, and it's orange and like really sparkly.
Yeah.
That was really pretty.
And this is the one I'm reading through the LN back again now, and it's when Anko like went up to the third, and it was like, don't blame yourself. Like that was kind of cool. Like this whole that episode was kind of weirdly beautiful.
Yeah.
Also, all 4 of these past episodes have been like beautiful. Definitely not at the stage where we're like, oh, this should have been filler, or this should have been like 1 episode.
Yeah.
They're valid.
Yeah.
They're all good on their own. It's kind of like better to at least after that whole Gaara broccoli fight.
Well, that's I think we mentioned that last week. These really do feel like breather episodes.
They do.
Yeah.
Not
Nice
necessarily
moments.
filler, but just breather.
I like these 2 over the last 2 a little more, but
This Gambunta in these.
I love Gamabunta like a lot. Like he's just such a fucking funny.
It's
frog.
fun to say.
The
Right? I am more Gamagum. Like you do.
You
such
have
a
to
good
say
voice.
it like he says it. Though.
Yeah.
Like loud and angry.
I should say, both of these are technically filler. I mean, like mostly, like like Naruto does summon Gamabunta, but in the manga, he like summons him, and then on the next page, Gamabunta puts him at the hospital. There's like none of this. There's none of this jumping around and shit. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess it didn't seem like filler because it was interesting to watch.
It was
and there
decently
like,
written filler, but it was.
But it really is just him holding onto a large toad's back while he
Yeah.
hops around the village.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, I don't understand why they don't have like 50 filler arcs in this month-long period where nothing happens.
Yeah.
Send fucking Kurenai's team on a mission. Let me see what Hinata's up to.
Let me see Asuma and Shikamaru talk.
Straight up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me. Yeah. Whatever. That's fine.
I feel like the conversation between Asuma and Shikamaru has to be like some of the funnest shit.
Yeah, they probably lay down some very funny witticisms.
And Asuma's constantly like, you don't really know how the world works. Like, shut up, old man. I do. It's okay, boomer. Literally okay, boomer.
All right, folks. Let's do some reader responses. First up, I want to give a couple of Patreon shout-outs, baby! Up first, our Genian shout-out for the week. This is the one-time shout-out. You get that at the $5 tier, and you can listen to Rio Radio, our little bonus tracks we lay down for you cats. I want to give a fucking Porky Pig over here. I want to give a big thanks to Pedro Ramos.
Woo! Thank you so much for supporting us. You're the best.
Of all of the patrons we have named Pedro Ramos, you are the number one, I must say.
We're the Pedro Ramos.
Yeah, the official Pedro Ramos of the podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, and of course, our legendary Sanin themselves, Dave The Rock Mata.
I don't know if you can give him the rock. I feel like what would his wrestling
Dave
name be?
the
Plateau. We had that moment simultaneously,
Yeah, we did.
and it was incredible.
Yeah, Nina the
Kelly.
Kelly.
Nina the Kelly.
I like Nina the Nina Kelly.
What are other things from this episode? Toadlet. What did we call it?
Was that this
Froglet.
episode?
Nina the Toadlet Kelly.
Froglet.
Froglet?
Nina the Froglet.
Toddler
Kelly.
frogs?
Toddler frog. And whatever you want to be called, Nina, we'll call you. Just let us know. And of course, Pro Hendrix, the
Toddler frog
queen.
queen.
The toddler frog.
No, that's
queen.
my title.
Oh yeah.
I'm the toddler frog.
Toddler
queen.
frog king.
I mean, I'm single.
Ooh.
Wow, that was excellent.
Yeah.
Hey, guys out there, and girls too. And you know what? Whatever. Like, gender's a construct. It's 2019, guys. Almost 2020. Holy shit.
Holy fuck.
Weird.
Anyways, let us know what you think of these episodes. Give questions, ask comments, whatever the fuck. Our Gmail is...
Not you.
No, I just thought you were gonna advertise Morgan as.
You think I was going to give out all of Morgan's socials?
No,
You can email Morgan at MW.
She said I'm single, and then you were like, "Hey guys out there." And I thought
Hey, guys.
that to me.
No, I'm actually going to plug the podcast stuff.
You can pimp me out if you want. I'm fine with it.
All right. I will. Our Gmail is narutalkpod@gmail.com. Facebook, NaruTalk, the Naruto ShipPodcast. YouTube, NaruTalkPod. Instagram and Twitter are both at NaruTalkPod. You can use a hashtag NaruTalk or NaruTalkPod. Our website is narutalk.wordpress.com. And of course, our Patreon is patreon.com/NaruTalkPod. There's tiers on that shit. $2 Discord. Bam.
Discord.
It's good.
Also,
Yeah.
happy Cyber Monday.
Happy Cyber
Happy
Monday.
Thanksgiving.
Is
Happy
it?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Shit, dude.
Yeah, because we would be recording this on Thanksgiving, but we're not.
Yeah.
And it'll come out on Cyber Monday.
Happy
So happy
Cyber
Cyber
Monday!
Monday!
Get some good deals on
Hashtag Cyber
shit.
Monday.
Hashtag Cyber Monday. Yeah.
That's like the Arbor Day of
For the-
electronic holidays.
It is.
Yeah.
In that I didn't know it was a thing.
Cyber Monday was. Why do I know things?
I knew Cyber Monday.
But yeah, $5 tier you get bonus episodes, $10 tier you can recommend what those are about, and $25 tier you get physical merch and something else cool.
Crack.
I don't know. You get
Come do Molly with me.
yeah, you get pretty much everything at the $25 tier. And then any amount of money helps. We love you, of course. Let's hear some shit that people said.
All right. I will go first.
Go for it.
So good buddy Nath returns from YouTube.
Yes.
And they left a series of comments. The one I'm going to read out is, they go, Raj, can we start a bromance? I, too, only drink water, work a lot with kids, and hate Crocs. I feel like we were destined to be friends.
Damn, that's like the Raj,
that's my branding.
Yeah, that's like the outline.
Yeah,
that's like the quick outline.
That's me. You think Raj, now you're going to think Nath. Nath, you and me are together forever. Can we do a ship name? That's Wrath. We are now Wrath.
Ooh, that's kind of dope.
That's
though.
really quite dope.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
Quite
Yeah.
dope.
if anyone asks if you're single, Nath, you're not.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Do you folks have any shit to say?
Weird responses?
Yeah.
Do you
I
have a
have
Nath
one-
in your life? Bet
Yeah.
not. 'Cause
I
it's me.
don't.
I
We
don't
already had that
know.
conversation.
That's good. That's right.
Yeah.
Wait,
because
let's
Rat Nath is
let's
yours.
just answer these questions because last week we said we'd do a Q&A. So let's stick to
Okay.
those. Yeah. Do you have any
Questions?
Yeah, read a question. Read a question from the Discord. Those motherfuckers pay.
Got it.
What are you doing?
Not,
It's
I was
all
only
in our
reading
reader
responses.
response. I organized everything for you.
I didn't.
All you have
do
to do is scroll down.
It's in
Questions.
sections.
Yes.
Is it that? Is it
Ask
that?
any. Just read the first one you see.
How do I even know which one? Wait, you
Just-
said do the ones from the Discord. How do I
okay.
know what's from the Discord?
There's a questions
Discord?
Discord
Oh,
section.
wow.
I put so much time into formatting this to make it the easiest thing possible.
Somebody asked if you could turn into any animal at will.
I also put their names.
Oh, Tootie asked. I'm sorry.
I don't even.
All
I
right,
have
okay,
no
let's start over. Just from
I'm
the top.
leaving that in.
Oh, boy.
Just say their name and then
Yeah.
question.
Yes.
Go.
Tootie asked if you could turn into any animal at will, what would it be and why?
Okay.
Personally, probably an
An
otter,
otter.
just because, yeah, I think they're adorable.
Komodo
and
dragon.
wonderful And hilarious.
Why Komodo dragon?
Have you seen a Komodo dragon? They just be chilling.
Toddler
Oh.
frog.
They're
Oh.
all like,
Toddler frog.
oh, taller frog.
I'm the
fire.
queen.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be cool to just be a huge hunking lizard, just like mind my own business, and then suddenly it's just like, oh, I'm on
Well,
Komodo Dragon
yeah.
Island.
They look fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
They're dope as shit, and they don't give a fuck.
They don't give a fuck. Also, have you seen one smile? Adorable.
Cold-blooded though.
Cold-blooded.
That's not great.
That sucks. I am cold-blooded.
You know, have you ever seen Stephen Colbert? That
Yeah.
show? Fucking his band leader, Jean-Baptiste, is also mic'd. And sometimes Stephen Colbert will say like a good roast, and then you'll just hear him in the corner. He'll go, Cold-blooded. It's so funny. Hey, can you ask a question? Just hand her
Sorry.
give her the thing.
Okay, you could have put it right in my hand, but
It's
you put
alright.
it down on the table.
What's the story, Morning Glory?
Paul asked,
That's a good one.
why doesn't Raj quit smoking? And I don't know Paul, but I wish he would.
You should. That's my answer to that
Why don't
question.
you quit smoking?
Why don't I quit smoking? Well, first off, the reasons why I started smoking haven't ended.
Fair.
So when that's all over, which is probably when my life is over.
Yeah, I was gonna say what, just like general anxiety and depression.
I just
That's
like
why I do most
just
things.
yeah, just like life in general.
Yeah.
I like smoking a lot. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Stop doing it. Smoke weed if you had to smoke anything. But yeah, I'll stop at some point. I'll stop this water only
He
thing
can
at
stop
some point.
anytime.
I really can't stop anytime I want.
That is his famous
Yeah.
catchphrase. I guess I'll ask a question now. Okay, Jay asks, what is your favorite art period?
Well,
Rococo.
what the fuck?
Impressionism.
Oh, who? What?
I don't know.
I was gonna say Looney Tunes. What are you talking about?
I went to art history.
You went to, I think that's.
I was more of a flapjack
seems like
chowder.
Yeah, I
Okay,
didn't see it.
moving
Did
to
it say art space the word period?
Yeah, it said art period.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
I read it in the Discord. So
Did you think it said, what's your favorite art period? End of story.
I don't know. Probably. Oh God, this is the hardest question for me ever.
yeah, you're an art history minor.
My favorite art period in photography is probably pictorialism, and then my
That's
favorite.
Pictorialism. As in
Pictorialism.
like pictures?
The Pinto chat?
Not in
My
art
favorite
history.
period in photography is after cameras were invented. It's a good period. Sorry. What's the answer? Favorite art period?
Pictorialism for photography
Uh-huh.
in general, and then art as a whole, probably surrealism or abstract impressionism.
Okay.
I'm agree with that. I
like abstract
I don't know. I
impressionism.
like Salvador Dali a lot. So whatever.
Oh, yeah,
he was
that's
coming out.
surrealism.
Surrealism.
Yeah, I love
Alright.
that shit a lot.
Oh, I like Dada too.
Oh yes.
Oh, Dada makes me mad sometimes. Sometimes I love it, and sometimes it makes me really angry.
You fucking
I
nerds.
like-
What are you talking about?
I
What are
like
you saying?
being.
We both
Have
take
you
our
ever
history
seen
classes.
Marcel Duchamp's The Fountain?
That's the one that makes me mad.
Oh, who?
It's literally a urinal turned on its side, and it's titled Fountain, and it's supposed to look like a drinking fountain, but it's a urinal.
Which also, it's a debate whether he even it might have been a gift to him, and he just decided to put it in a gallery.
This is great.
Like somebody was just like,
I
here's
love-
a thing, and he's like, okay, art.
I love-
like the person who gave it. I don't know. Yeah, it makes me mad.
It's the whole the principle of what is art and what can be considered art.
Uh-huh.
I like challenging it.
Yeah, which is why it's important.
But I don't think it's art. But I think why he did it was important.
Exactly.
To art.
The fact that it's in art history makes sense to me. It just also makes me angry.
Oh, it doesn't make me angry at all. It makes me so happy because when people challenge things, it's good and it leads to important things.
Okay, wow.
Because if somebody hadn't challenged that, then we would have been making the same art for years and years and years. But because Dada happened and ready-mades existed,
ready-mades are important.
It kind of like
it just is frustrating because I'm like, that succeeded and is now in the history books, and I know nothing I make will ever go there.
Well, and that's not necessarily true.
That person,
you're thinking about it from the standpoint that because you're a painting major and you're like, well, I'm gonna make a pretty painting and then nobody's gonna look at it, but it's not necessarily about what you're making, it's about why you're making it. That I think is the important part, and that's why I really fucking love Dada and ready-mades, because it's literally a bicycle wheel or a shovel with a stupid title or just a regular title or whatever.
I like shit like that too, because it's like you know, what's the point of art if not to make us look at things, and so why not put something mundane on display, you know?
Wait, so do you guys go to art school?
Well, as an artist, I have to say that I do.
Do you throw something out?
Okay, so Jacob goes, since we've got the first 50 or so episodes down, I suppose it's a decent time to ask, what's your thoughts on the show so far? Also, any hopes for the future? I hope I get married. That'd be cool.
like just in life?
No, Naruto.
In Naruto,
actually,
you want Raj to be introduced, and then you get married.
That's actually really fitting. Raj, will you marry me?
What?
Wait, yes.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Wait, really, what are you...
That could be a Rio Radio episode.
Raj and Morgan get married?
That would be good, actually. That would be good for our YouTube. Exposed, or 10 Reasons Why They Get Married, or something. I'm trying to come up with a clickbait title.
Raj and Morgan get married, not clickbait?
Yeah, actually, that's good too. But what do you guys think so far? You guys happen to have dropped in the middle of what is widely considered the best arc in the entire show.
Yeah.
So...
well, I am loving it. But also being like, it's considered the best arc in the entire show is now like, I guess it's just gonna get worse.
It's not my favorite arc in the whole show.
Okay.
No, not my favorite.
Yeah.
No.
Morgan,
all right.
What are you thinking?
I definitely would not have given it a chance if I didn't need to give it a chance.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same way I felt if you're...
Rio Radio.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're a Patreon member, or if you're a patron, and you listen to Rio Radio episode 3,
Yep.
You heard about Over the Garden Wall, which I also would never have watched on my own because I had to. I watched it and like kind of forced myself to appreciate it.
Right.
And I feel the exact same way about Naruto. Like I never would have been like, I'm gonna go watch Naruto.
Yeah.
But now I have to watch it every week. And I like find myself like falling into the hole. Like today I was watching the episodes and kind of like not really paying attention at the end of the last episode.
Right.
And it started going into the next one and I was like, I can't watch this right now. That's next week's episode.
And I wonder what's gonna happen.
But like I kind of like I fell into this hole because with every anime that I've ever watched, and I don't think I've ever finished an anime, I start watching it and then I'm just like, I'd rather watch like Orange is the New Black or like New Girl or something, and then I do that. Not because I don't like anime, but because I feel like it's such a specific style.
Oh yeah, very much so.
That like you have to be in it, and this has forced me to be in it. So like I'm like really enjoying it because I'm like.
Well, then, if you don't mind me following up with a question from Nath on YouTube, he says, has Naruto made any of the quote-unquote normies consider watching any other shonen? Which is the style of, it's the anime that's made for, like, specifically younger boys, like Naruto, Bleach, One Piece.
Yeah, we talked about this when we watched,
Something.
Senpai Club.
Oh, yes.
Oh, right, yeah, I just really forgot.
So, has it? I mean, that's a curious question.
I feel like now I'm way more open to watch any anime.
Yeah, okay.
Because like my ex-boyfriend was very said that so many times during this episode, but he's the biggest weeb I know.
You know, I run a Naruto podcast.
No.
Yeah.
He got a Joestar tattoo, like the biggest weeb I know.
Oh, that's a weeb move.
Yeah.
But he was always like, oh, my nose ring is falling out. Hang on.
Yeah.
He was always like, oh no, you should watch this because I think you'd like it because it's kind of like this show that you'd watch, and it was never an anime. But now I feel like I'd be like, oh, I think I should watch this because it's an anime and
Interesting.
like they're cool.
What about you, Katie?
Well, I've seen other shonen. I think.
Like what?
I don't. Is Death Note considered that?
Oh,
Okay,
No,
then
not
I have
really.
not, because that's definitely the closest. There was other ones that were kind of
shonen
stretched,
like
but
young
that was
boys.
the-
Follows this
young-
formula pretty like tightly. I mean,
Okay.
One Piece deviates from it a lot, but like Bleach and stuff like that is pretty much always there's this one powerful kid with the secret power and he proves himself. Yeah.
It's interesting because all these
Would
those
Yu-Gi-Oh
ones that you
count?
just named,
Yeah.
It's so funny.
these are like all ones that I've heard of, but like never watched.
Yeah.
Or like I've seen a whole bunch of anime, but like these like Naruto. I kept meaning to watch Naruto like before this was a thing,
Nerd.
just because I was like
Fucking
because I was like
nerd.
that's like the anime that I've heard about the most. But I probably, if not for the podcast, would have watched like 1 or 2 episodes and been like, no,
Yeah.
and like not watched it. But
But like, would you
I don't
in
know,
the future
yeah.
like post this podcast? Would you like throw on an episode of One Piece or something?
maybe.
Yeah. All right. Interesting. Who's next? Is there a lineup that we're doing?
I'll go next.
Alright.
So, or do you need any random questions?
Yeah. Just I want to clear this out since last week we were like we're doing a Q&A. I forgot about that. Otherwise I would have been like.
Oh, okay. Wait. So
Yeah.
there's one I should probably read.
All right. They're all at the bottom.
Oh, are we sticking to just the patrons?
Yeah. Just anything out of this question section.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah.
There's this. Yeah. Okay. So, oh no, it's a 5-star review. You can't do that. Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna ask that one during the 5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. So Bobby Yukasuki asks, who are your least favorite characters from your favorite series? So, what's your favorite series? And
Yeah.
who's your least
So it
favorite
doesn't
character?
necessarily have to be Naruto, but like, who are your least favorite characters in the series that you like the most?
Mm-hmm.
I have to pick a favorite series first.
I guess any series that you like, really.
What media? Are we like TV show, game, anything?
Yeah, whatever, man. Do you have anything off the top of your
Oh God, I like
Man.
least favorite character?
all I watch is Naruto and YouTube.
Yeah, same. Fuck. What do I?
I know,
watch?
right? It's kind of
Oh,
hard.
okay. I like Law and Order SVU a lot.
Love it.
I really do. There's this guy who, his name is Stucky, and he's just this annoying ass kid who helps the dude who analyzes the dirt and shit on the crime scene.
Yeah.
He's just fucking annoying, and I don't get his existence for so fucking long. He's just there to be a jackass, like just to be a total dick, and he fucks up. And spoiler alert, he ends up fucking like killing a bunch of he's
What the hell,
crazy.
Stucky?
He's batshit. He's like who's that fucking journalist who hangs out with Clark Kent? Jimmy
Olsen.
Yeah, he's like if Jimmy Olsen was more annoying than what he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck Stucky. Fuck whoever casted him.
Do you guys think of anything? Well,
Yeah, it came out I think 2 years ago.
sure.
It's a Netflix original. It's called Atypical.
Oh, I've heard of it.
It's really good,
Yeah.
and it's about this kid who has autism and kind of his journey through the end of high school and entering college.
Yeah.
And I really like it a lot, but the kid's mom's a fucking bitch.
Well, goddamn.
She cheats on her husband
Yeah.
and then gets mad when he doesn't want to talk to her about it, and like she's kind of just the worst. And it's really just how it's written, and like it's definitely like as the series goes on, they'll probably like give her a redeeming quality. But
Yeah.
like right now, like she's just a bitch.
Well, holy shit. Katie, what about Katie?
Oh, I'm having so much trouble.
Just name
Okay,
it.
pick a Disney movie you fuck with.
Okay.
Oh wait,
I
okay.
kept thinking.
Actually, wait. So who's your least favorite character in Lemonade Mouth?
I could not even name the characters. It's been a very long
So
time
what
since
were
I
you
watched
You
that
can't rap
movie.
it's like your favorite movie in the world.
No,
I
I
think we just told her that it was
Yeah,
her
you
favorite movie in
did.
the
You
world.
really did. You were like, "How is that your favorite Disney original movie?" I was like, "I don't know if it is, but sure." I was just thinking through different TV series that I like, and I just really like all the characters in all of them. I guess I'm not. How I Met Your Mother came into my head, and I guess
Not a bad one.
I don't know, like, because I do love all the characters in that.
Except.
I mean,
Can also be a secondary character.
Ah.
oh crap.
Maybe you hate the mom.
Any of the
I kind of
Maybe you hate the kids.
I hate Big Bang Theory.
I like
I
the
hate their
mom
cast.
because she reminds me of
Everyone in that.
No, I can't, like, no.
That's
like,
alright. That's
Katie
alright.
holds
the
no
one
hatred in her
character that
heart.
didn't, like, outwardly, I was like, oh my gosh, I love that character is Ted, which is, like, literally the
Ted's an
Which is
asshole.
fine. Ted's
he does
annoying.
nothing but neg people the entire
I
series.
guess Ted is
He's
my
the
least favorite
worst.
character in How I Met Your Mother.
There you go. That's
I went through, like, so many other series and I was like, no, I love all
That's a
them. I
perfect-
love all
Sorry,
them, I
Bobby.
love
Katie
all
doesn't have a
them.
lot of room in her heart for
So
hatred.
many things.
Liam.
Oh, I've got nothing. I don't even watch
What?
stuff. I don't
Yeah.
do anything.
Who's your least favorite character in The Office?
Oh, I forgot about The Office.
My last rewatch of The
I
Office
could've
was
said
a rewatch of The Office entirely stoned, and I realized that it sucks except season 2. Season 2
Yeah, season 2
is
is like the peak of this.
some of the best television I think ever produced, and then everything else is terrible.
Yeah.
And it blew my mind because I've seen it 14 times.
We've seen Dinner Party
Okay.
400
Yeah,
times.
Who's your least favorite character in BoJack?
Ooh, do I have a character? I don't love Hollyhock, but I'm sure I will.
You don't like Hollyhock?
I don't
Oh,
love
fuck.
Hollyhock. I don't know.
You know, I'm
Oh,
with
you know what? Actually, like, most of the secondary cast in BoJack, especially in, like, the middle seasons, they get a little, like, hey, here's my gimmick, you know? And it's like...
Oh, yeah.
See, that's another series that I started and just didn't finish.
Yeah.
Oh, you should.
I know, but I
Yeah.
love, like, I always start these series and I'm like, oh, this is dope, and then I just don't finish it, and I move on to something that I can just mindlessly watch.
Yeah. No, I love BoJack, but just the in the middle seasons, a lot of the secondary characters aren't great. Sylvando from Dragon Quest XI kind of sucks. Everybody thinks he's great, but I don't like his voice actor. I'll just start reading these questions. This isn't really anything, but Dr. Wacky Sanchez from YouTube asks, do you think Shino sells his bugs as a pastime?
Yes.
No, they're in his bones.
No.
He's got bug bones.
Sells
He
them?
sells them.
Yeah. He loves them.
No, but it's more of a scam. He, like,
I
sells
think maybe
them.
he pimps them out.
Yeah, definitely.
Pimping.
Some people need some bugs.
Yeah.
Maybe he pimps them out to, like, do, like,
Sounding.
everyday chores around somebody's house.
Or
like,
chores.
rent my bugs and they'll like, vacuum your floor.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Katie, did you want to ask one? Just don't ask this. Jay asked, can you rank the Founding Fathers based on who you could take in a fight? But Rio Radio Episode 4 is going to be Ships and Showdowns. Tune in for that, folks. By the way, basically, what we're doing right now is ostensibly a Rio Radio. So, like, if you fuck with this free-form conversation kind of thing, tune in for that. And we're going to answer that question in Rio Radio 4 because that's about ships and showdowns. So we'll talk about who in Naruto could fight Founding Fathers and if we could.
That gives me time to learn who the Founding Fathers are.
Exactly,
Yeah, 'cause I
yeah.
don't know
Because
who
as we
they
talked
are.
about on the last Rio Radio, we don't know.
Yeah.
Was that Rio Radio?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Ask one of these. Ask one of those questions.
Without spoiling, Liam, which future character are you most excited for the group to meet?
Okay, sure. Do you want to answer as well? I mean, you know some Naruto.
Okay.
Just think of something vague that like people at home would understand, you know?
Alright, so there's this dude,
Yeah.
right?
We could also just like plug our ears.
Are you just
that's
gonna,
like
are you
or
just like Kisame with hat?
Damn it! Okay, so there's this other dude. And he, this is my reason for getting into Shippuden. He has red hair,
Uh-huh.
he fair skin, fights.
He's a principal antagonist.
No, fights one of our main peoples,
Uh-huh.
and can do a little. Who made Muppets? Jim Henson.
Oh, you're talking first arc. He's a Jim Henson man.
Yeah.
He's a Muppet man.
He's a Muppet man
A Muppet man, red
with
hair.
red hair,
Yeah.
and he's the reason. I just thought he was really cute. That's why I started watching.
Right. I
Shippuden.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yo, we're gonna have to talk about that when we get there.
Yeah,
That'd
I'm
be so
excited.
crazy.
Whoever asked this question, this is my least favorite thing that's ever happened ever.
That we're just like
This is
Yeah.
infuriating.
talking
This is
Yeah.
what Katie felt like on the train.
That's
yeah,
literally
I'm
what
sorry.
it was. It was
But,
so
like,
weird.
I'm so impatient about everything. Like, I'm the bitch that'll be sitting in a movie and look up the synopsis of the movie while I'm watching it because I need to know what happens.
Yeah.
So this little like, oh yeah, so what dude? Oh my god, I love him.
Yeah, yeah.
I hate it.
I'm sorry. I'll answer very quickly then. My roommate recently read through all of Naruto, and one of the principal antagonists, there's a rather big reveal as to their identity, and I think that'll be fantastic when we talk about that, because talking about it with him was very funny, and I'm excited for that. Although I will say, I watched the movie, that canon movie that we have to get to eventually, which I had never seen,
Yeah.
but it's like canon, and I watched it, and holy shit! So like not a character, but like I am so excited for us to watch that movie
Fire.
because you guys are gonna fucking love it, like so much. So that's exciting. Last question: what is your favorite piece of classic literature?
What does that mean?
I don't know if I've ever read any classical literature.
Yeah.
Is Harry Potter classical?
I've read Chamber of Secrets. No, can we all just agree on like Chamber of Secrets?
Why don't you say
Stop.
Percy Jackson? Did you read those?
Is that classic literature?
It's classic to us, baby.
Then fuck yeah, Percy Jackson.
Morgan, do you have an actual piece of classical literature? You seem like you might.
Oh wait, no, actually, what's it called? The Magic Treehouse.
Those are good as
Yeah,
shit.
I used to read those as a kid.
I gotta think. Do you have one?
That would be Kids Fire.
My favorite book ever is In Cold Blood by Truman Capote, but I wouldn't really call that classic literature, nor would I my other favorite author is Toni Morrison, who I love the book The Bluest Eye by her, and Beloved is also fantastic, but I also, those are rather contemporary. I really fuck with Jane Austen. Pride and Prejudice is written like crazy well, and also Charles Dickens is I feel like a lot of people sleep on him because they teach him poorly in schools, but he's actually a pulp author, and his shit is supposed to be read like a comic book, and it's very funny and very witty if you read it that way, but that's not how people teach it, which is infuriating.
You're just saying words right now.
Yeah.
I've just been staring at Raj.
Ayn Rand's Fire.
Ayn Rand? Please tell me you've never read Ayn Rand.
I have. Yeah.
Dude, that shit's not fire. It's horrible.
Well, in like high school, I had like a whole phase of like dystopian society. So,
That's
like Atlas Shrugged and the Fountainhead and all that
Ayn
stuff.
Rand just talks about like extreme right-wing philosophies,
Yeah,
bro.
I know.
That's horrible.
Yeah, no, I got it because I was like really into the story of Bioshock 1. And I was like, all right.
But that's like, look, I like Ayn Rand inspired things, but that's the kind of shit that like Zack Snyder made.
No, trust me, no. I don't co-sign anything she said.
That shit in his brain, and he's like, yeah, Dawn of Justice.
But it's just that it's that category of books and like Fahrenheit 451, like those shits. Yeah.
That was one of my favorite books. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's
Thank
fire,
you. Yeah,
yeah.
I love that book too. Morgan, did you have anything? It's okay. We can just sort of not.
Diary Movie Kid.
No,
Roger Cools.
I love Lord of the Flies.
Classic.
That is a classic.
I love
I read that, I think.
Great Gatsby.
Interesting. I'm
And-
not a huge fan particularly.
I don't.
I'm not either.
I love it for reasons that I will not dive into right now.
Totally fair.
And then
I wanna hear.
1984.
Oh, interesting.
Valid. Orwell.
Yeah.
That guy. That one dude.
All good shit. All right, so other than that last question about the founding fathers, that's what we're going to answer for today. And so thank you for all those questions. That was a really fun Q&A. If you like those questions, like I said, links down below for to send shit in to us, you know. You know the deal, basically. Like, subscribe, rate, whatever you do, wherever you are. Leave a 5-star review if you're in the podcast app. It's super easy to do. And we'll always read them out no matter what they are, even if they're a weird question like this from Gorge122333. They say, what up? And it's Jay, our patron, who asked many of the questions that you just heard. They say, hey, this is Jay. For the love of God, what are your favorite beans? Mine are garbanzo.
All right, let's go around the table. We're gonna start with Katie. Katie, go.
Espresso.
Okay. Well, good. I walked into that one. Alrighty.
That was really funny.
If it has to be a bean, it's a green bean. But if it can be like a bean/legume, I love a good lentil.
Okay, I'll take it.
Valid. All right. I hate all beans. I fucking
Even
I
can't
hate
stand.
beans too, but
They're
I like
disgusting.
Even black beans?
Black beans, all beans, terrible beans.
See, I was vegan for like 2.5 years, and beans that's it for you.
Yeah.
If you don't eat beans, you die.
I hate beans.
Yeah.
I
So,
can't stand them.
I'm a big fan of black beans because you get a lot of protein for.
Their
I
texture
kind of
sucks.
blocked
Their
that
flavor
part
sucks.
of you out of
That-
my
that
brain.
I was vegan
you
for a
were
long time?
vegan
Oh
for a
yeah,
very
you
long
were vegan
time.
for 2 years.
That's
My
life, man.
parents make brownies out of black beans, and they're really good.
Your parents make anything
It's
good.
a good bean.
I don't like beans, but
It's
I
true,
like
your
them
parents
when they
make
don't taste like beans.
Fire food.
Yeah.
Does your dad listen to this?
Maybe.
Tell him to listen to this episode just to
Okay.
get to this
I
one
gotta
part.
paint my
Yes.
nails soon. Actually, can we go back to your house?
Right now?
Yeah.
Right now.
All right, listen.
Yeah.
So tell your friends about this podcast. Whatever. You know, if you listen to a podcast, you probably do. You know. Thank Glenn. This is an instruction. Thank you, Glenn Federico, our patron and logo creator, and Ali Caruso, our episode art creator.
The best.
Yes, next Monday we're going to be watching episodes 58 and 59. So let us know what you think of those motherfuckers if you watch ahead.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah. Other than that, you know, I've got nothing left to say except thank you for listening.
You're the
And
best.
as always,
Be safe, have fun, believe it.